We gotta let Ryan roll first.
Yeah. So you guys will roll and figure out who gets to run Moon for the night since Andrew can't be with us. I can certainly help as we play along to kind of roll his dice and that kind of stuff for you guys.
It's closest to 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing it in reverse.
Digger
gets him.
Yes, that's right. We're doing the rolling the lowest common denominator, as in life. Now we are doing it in the game as well.
So as we get everybody in here, couple quick updates. There shouldn't be any real changes to the platform since the last time you guys were on. All the same stuff is here. I didn't really change or modify any of our modules, so we should be good to go. Who can give me a recap of what we did last time? What I like to
pure fucking carnage.
What I like to call episode 10, Severius Gets Salty.
I think we should just read off the role play section, and that'll summarize it pretty good.
I was waiting for like a get fucked gif to pop up in that role play. I will say this. Andrew was he was trying to just kind of have fun with Moon, but he was worried a little bit. He's like, I may need to roll another character that can be a murder hobo like everybody else.
Yeah, I was really impressed by all that.
So he's still connected to my office with Messenger, and he messaged me a couple of days. Was like, so he's like, do you think I pissed off Ryan? I was like, no, I don't think you did. Ryan's a pretty good sport, man. He was like, so I should try harder then?
No.
But I thought both of your responses, his posts and your response were phenomenal.
I was going to write another one. I just haven't gotten around to it.
No, you should absolutely write another one.
Well, and he bet me $1 that you wouldn't even respond in the first place.
Well, I didn't even know it happened, and Corey sent me a popcorn eating GIF, and I was like, "What the fuck is that about?" And he told me he wrote a thing on there, so I felt like I had to. But I liked my orphanage for.
I have to say that you definitely made me feel differently about the whole thing.
You feel better about me running over the teenager and mother?
I
was swayed.
Great points. You had some great points.
I was absolutely swayed. My thing was, though, is I almost put something in there too, was like, I just wanted to go. Like, you know, let him go, run him over, I don't care. Let's just go.
Shortest path to the goal.
Yeah, I almost interjected with Olin in the role play, but I was like, let's let this play out. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll let them have their time.
That's fine. I think I played within my character, so
absolutely.
And
So
I did with my indifferent character.
So you got me beat on that because I'm terrible at it.
I will say this. These are the kind of conversations that are going to come out of this game, right? Because that is the major thematic element of Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. It's what happens when you take even the most righteous characters and put them in a situation where they've got to make life and death decisions that don't necessarily have black and white answers. Like, it's all about shades of gray. Like, you guys are driving around in machines that are burning souls out of eternity. Even though they were preloaded with those souls before you started driving them, the fact of the matter is you chose to drive them, and those souls are being burned. I'll use a phrase from Wheel of Time. They're being burned out of the pattern. Those souls can never be reborn. So it's, you've already made some hard choices, Severius choosing to ride the were creatures down and, churn them under the wheels of his tormentor, I get it. There's no damage to the party if you do it that way. Otherwise, you could get bit. They do have the curse of lycanthropy. You guys could have been turned. So I get it. I get that it makes sense, but I also get Moon's side of it as well, right? These are creatures that, if given the chance, could feasibly go back to being human. Who knows why they're here in Avernus? They're not fiends. They're not devils. They're not demons. They're humanoids that don't necessarily belong here, but they're living here for some reason. So it's those kind of moral questions that I think are going to make the remainder of the campaign interesting. So I was glad to see you guys jump into it in the Discord server and kind of do a little bit of that role playing. That was very freaking cool, which is why both Moon and Severius get inspiration.
All right, well, is everybody else going to roll, or am I going to delete mine?
While you roll,
I'm going with legitimate. The dice are going to tell me.
I wasn't joking when I said I was going to abstain.
All right, so I guess that I'm running Moon then, because they're not rolling. I rolled because I want to let the dice choose.
I choose you.
I choose you.
Mrs. Krabappel?
English? That's impossible.
Can I have another crayon? What happened to yours, Ralph? I ate it.
That tastes like Grandma.
Can I call you Mommy? No, I'm Mrs. Krabappel.
Alrighty, so who can give me a quick rundown of what happened in the last episode? What did we do last session? Besides pure chaos and running down the were creatures.
That was about it. Well, I would say that the highlight for me was that Olin made Dickface disappear into another realm. He banished him somewhere else, which was fantastic. And then we kind of beat up on their guys for a bit, and then Severius went off the rails and wanted to murder everything.
It's not just, wanton murder if you're trying to, win a decisive victory against an enemy.
It's, I would say that murder is when they're trying to run away and surrender, and you kill them anyways. They're defenseless, which is murder.
All's fair in love and war, man.
Truth.
Didn't tell them to lay down their weapons.
And when you're literally in hell, all bets are off.
Well, this is Alatar's first time here, so, still learning the ropes. You guys are good examples, though.
No mercy, sweep the leg.
So we go for the leg. So we were heading towards Haruman's Hill, which is where Lulu believes you guys can find more information about the Sword of Zariel. I'm going to pop us over here to the map here real quick, just so we can kind of get an idea of where we were. As you were traversing from Fort Knucklebone to Haruman's Hill. So Haruman's Hill is up here. As you guys look into the map. Fort Knucklebone was down here. You guys got about yay far. You were going to use one of the fords here, or one of the bridges, I should say, to get across the river Styx and kind of head up over toward Haruman's Hill. That's where you got waylaid by one of the warlords, Raggadragga. He's a wereboar, who came kind of rumbling down the hills at you guys as you were coming up out of the ravine toward the river Styx, with the plains kind of branching out to the west of you. You may recall, as he, decided to do his best Mad Max impersonation, got out on the hood of his demon grinder and bellowed down at everybody that you were standing before greatness and that he wanted his war machines back. It looks like he had probably had these war machines in for repairs, and Mad Maggie decided to give them to you guys because he couldn't pay her, and he was looking to try to steal them back. Rather than run, Severius chose to go for a head-on assault, which has left Raggadragga and his merry band of the Goreguts gang decimated. Olin, with some very quick thinking, used a banishment spell to send Raggadragga back into the realms, leaving the demon grinder with no one at the helm. It was able to, you guys were able to cause it to crash. Unfortunately, in the combat, because of that head-on assault and because of the crash of the demon grinder afterwards, we find that 2 of our infernal war machines are damaged. You may remember at the very end of the last session, we talked about needing to get some repairs done. The reason for that being, both have, I believe, damaged rear axles was what we had rolled. Just make sure it's got here. In that mishaps table, I want to say that it was...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that would have been disadvantage on saves and other stuff. So because of that, and oddly enough, we rolled the exact same thing on both of the machines. I think it was a messed up rear axle, if I recall correctly. So you guys have got some choices. So the vehicles still roll. You can continue to roll them on down the road heading toward Haruman's Hill if you want to. The difficulty here is going to be that they do come with some unfortunate side effects from that damage. So because both had, let's see, it was the damaged axle. So the vehicle will grind and shake uncontrollably until we fix the damage. The vehicle will have disadvantage on any and all dexterity checks that it makes, and any and all ability checks and attack rolls made by creatures on or inside the vehicle will have disadvantage. So you've got a demon grinder, you've got the tormentor, you've got the devil's ride. Unfortunately, your tormentor and the devil's ride will both have those disadvantages if you don't try to repair it. So there's a couple things that we can do. The good news is that you have a couple of characters in the party who might be able to assist. Let's see here. Did you guys just have a journal entry pop up for you on repairs?
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Cool. I'm starting to figure this thing out. So the damaged axle has a difficulty check on it where you can attempt to make a repair. So you'll see that repairs can be made anywhere, though again, showing weakness out on the plains can sometimes cause random encounters and other predators to come looking to take advantage of your disadvantage. But the other difficulties is that sometimes you don't always have the necessary parts or the necessary tools. You can always go back. Chukka and Clonk can certainly help out if you guys wanted to return and go back to Fort Knucklebone. If you wanted to attempt to make repairs in the field, you can certainly do so. They do require either tinkerer's tools or smith's tools, and you do have to make a fairly high. This is one of the worst mishaps that can occur to the war machines. So the question is, if you attempt to make the repairs here and fail, you can certainly go back to Fort Knucklebone, but you're going to have to pay to get the repairs done. If you go back to Fort Knucklebone and try and make the repairs there, I can give you advantage on some of the rolls. If you still fail it, you'll still end up having to pay a little bit, but there will be a mechanics bay charge, that kind of thing, for going back and doing repairs there. So the choice is up to you guys. You can try and make it in the field. It's a relatively high DC. If you fail, you've got to go back and pay Mad Maggie's gang to make the repairs. You can continue on and just be willing to accept the fact that these machines may be a liability if you get into another combat. You can repair in the field. I'll let you guys discuss. What would the group like to do?
Well, I don't think any of us are tinkerers.
Well, so we actually have 2 folks that do have proficiencies with the tools. Audrey is one of them. You have 3 or 4.
Yeah, but I don't have the tools though. That's the problem. I have the proficiency, but I do not have the tools.
Gotcha.
Olin could take a stab at it with his smith's tools.
Yep.
Or he could share them.
Well, they're separate tools, right?
Correct.
Would that work?
So Tinkerer's tools and Smith tools are different tools with different proficiencies. So with the specifically for this type of mishap, it requires a dexterity check where you can roll with your tools with proficiency. So if you've got a high dex and you're proficient with the tools, it may help you to make the difficulty roll.
Did we search the bodies for Tinkerer tools?
I mean, Moon's got a pretty high dex, so he could probably just roll straight up, right?
So it depends on if
but he's got to have the thing.
So if he doesn't have the tools, he can certainly try to use them, but there will be no proficiency bonus that gets applied to it.
Oh, hang on.
See,
hang on.
I have the proficiency.
Olin could apparently use Channel Divinity Artisan's Blessing to create a set of tools.
Well, hell yeah.
I can use
share
Channel
those
Divinity. Well, apparently, because it says here, you can use your Channel Divinity to conduct an hour-long ritual that crafts a non-magical item that must include some metal. Simpler martial weapon, suit of armor, 10 pieces of ammunition, a set of tools, or another metal object. The thing you create can be something that is worth no more than 100 gold pieces.
Yep.
So we could say Olin spends an hour doing this ritual and creates a set of tinker tools.
Could certainly do so.
And I'll tinker the hell out of them.
Let's do that.
Okay. So what that's going to do, I'm just trying to take a quick look at your sheets here. So Olin doesn't have any. So this is a dexterity check. So the mishap table that I'm using from the campaign has a mixture of either strength or dexterity checks to try to repair the different things, and it depends on like what it damages. So because the damage axle causes problems to dexterity abilities for the vehicle, it is a dexterity-based check to try to repair it. So Olin could certainly roll on it, though he doesn't have a bonus to dex. You would just get your proficiency bonus.
But Olin would just make the tools, and then he would let me use the tools, right?
Alternatively, we can have Audrey try and do it on her own with the Channel Divinity tools that Olin can make. You have a +3 on dex, plus you would get your proficiency bonus along with it.
That's the way to go.
Which I think it's going to be
Moon?
would be a +6.
Straight roll.
Yeah, Moon's got a dex of 17 with the +3.
Yeah, and it looks like Olin does have proficiency with the smith's tools.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, if it's a dex roll, it's better if Audrey does it with the Channel Divinity Tinker tools.
So I'm looking at
who has the tinker tool? Is it me, Moon?
Olin will make them and then give them to Audrey.
Moon does not have proficiency with Tinker's tools. He is proficiency with Thieves' tools and his lyre.
I just meant so hold on. It's only one roll that can be made to try to fix it, right?
Should be a series.
So we're going to do best 2 out of 3. So it's best 2 out of 3. As long as you guys can make one of them, we'll say that you've got enough repairs to be able to move them on. But here's the thing. We're repairing 2 of them, so it's going to be rolls for both separately. The other side of it is that it's your base dex bonus. So for Audrey, that's a +3. For Moon, it's a +3. Then it's your proficiency bonus with your tool. So Audrey has a +3. So she would get a +6 on her Tinkerer's tools with dexterity. So it's a D20 +6, trying to make the difficulty check. So do you guys want to try and make the repairs in the field?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm down for that. Is everybody else down for that?
Yep.
Okay. So on Olin, I'm going to go ahead and do that because we've already cast it. So I'm going to set your channel divinity to 1 of 2 because you're going to use 1 for that artisan's blessing. Is on. We still have the Blessing of the Forge on Severius. Just make sure I've got my tracking stuff set up correctly. Let me make sure we... Put that in. Okay. So, kind of like how we do skill checks, I suggest we figure out exactly how we're all going to help Audrey to do this first roll. So which one do we want to look at first, the Tormentor or the Demon Grinder? The one that you guys already had, or the one that Raggadragga was driving and caused a crash? Which one do we want to try to fix first?
The one we already had?
Well, we want to fix the... Or do they both have broken axles, and so they're both going to require dex? Okay,
yeah,
yeah, I guess... Whichever one we plan on using, I guess we should try first.
You know, somebody's got to lift it up too for me to work on it. Are we doing that whole thing?
So here is my DM suggestion. So at the end of the last one, the Demon Grinder was flipped over because you guys caused it to crash. If you want to try to pull it back onto its wheels so that you'll be able to salvage it and repair it, you can do so. Because that's going to require like a check. I'm guessing you'd probably try to hook something up with the Devil's Ride and the Tormentor to pull it back over, like a tow rope or something. I would probably try to repair the Tormentor first if you can, because then that's going to give you a better ability to do that check to pull the Demon Grinder back onto its wheels.
Sounds good.
Remind me, we need both of these. Like, we need both the vehicles to transport everybody, right? Or are we just taking them both to be safe?
So it depends. The Demon Grind. So you could leave the Demon Grinder behind. You don't need to take it if you don't want it.
But I mean, could we leave the motorcycle behind? Do we want to take 2 big vehicles, or do we want to take a vehicle and a motorcycle, or do we want to take all 3?
I mean, I would assume it's pretty valuable. I don't think we should. Is there any negative to driving 3 vehicles?
No.
We can always try to unload one when we get back somewhere.
I'm only concerned about trying to make sure that we can actually get it fixed. Or both of them fixed, you know what I mean?
So the only negatives is the more vehicles you have, the greater the upkeep, right? So unfortunately, so as you salvaged and scavenged over the Demon Grinder, you didn't find any soul coins to run it, realizing that they were probably on Raggadragga when he got banished back to his original realm. So you don't have any soul coins that you can use to power the Demon Grinder. You'd have to use some of the ones that Mad Maggie gave you. You do have some extras from the Devil's Ride and from the Tormentor, so you could certainly keep the Demon Grinder running. But the farther you drive them, the more soul coins it takes to keep them running.
Yeah, and that doesn't make Olin happy, so we probably only want to take 1 vehicle.
Now, that being said, the Demon Grinder is certainly larger. Do this here for you guys. So the Demon Grinder has additional action stations. So you may remember with the Tormentor, you guys had either the Helm or the Harpoon Flinger. The Demon Grinder has a helm, so you do need a driver for it, but you have 2 Harpoon Flingers. You also have the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, so Demon Grinder for sure. Yeah. Grinder.
Upgrade.
Yeah, whichever's. Let's keep the nicest one at least.
Okay.
If it's an upgrade.
All right, but we want to try to see if we can't repair the Demon Grinder and get it back on its wheels. So let me just check something here. Just checking one quick thing. So that's only that's only creatures. Okay. So let's try and see if we can't get that Demon Grinder back on its feet. It's going to require so as a group, if you guys want to use like some ropes and things like that, hook it up to the Tormentor, try and see if you can't pull the Demon Grinder back. We certainly can. What I will have everybody in the party do is roll a basic strength check for me. And as a group, we're going to add them all up, and we're trying to get to a difficulty of 15 to flip this thing back to its feet. So everybody roll a strength check. What do we got? 21, a 4, a 9. You guys want me to roll for Moon?
I should be able to, I can do it, right?
That's
Got
fine,
it.
right?
You should be able to see his sheet, yeah, if you go into it via the
Strength
character
check?
screen. And what I'll...
No, it won't let me.
You're welcome. So we got a 21, a
thank you.
4... 21, a 4... What do we get there? 14, and an 18... That's gonna make the halfling is super tough. For some reason, I'm getting like a weird delay there. Is anybody else hearing like the dice roll?
No.
No, I got it turned off.
It's odd.
Actually, like a wailing in the background.
Okay, so 21 and 4 is 25, 34, 48. What do we got here? 66 divided by 5 is going to not be a 15. So that first attempt, unfortunately, is going to be our first failure of trying to get the Demon Grinder back on its feet. We've got 2 more attempts here. We've got to get at least 1 positive attempt. So let's all go ahead and roll that strength again. Trying for a 15 or higher.
Average.
Yeah.
We're doing an ability check, right?
Yep. I'm averaging it out for the group.
Balls.
It's not going to work.
Come on, guys. Where's the halfling pull?
Yeah, that one is going to be our second failure. So we've
You
got.
should have all the strength.
So we have a. So one of the things we could do is we could have Moon. Well, let me try and check something. What is the strength? That's right. Way better. So why don't we do this? Wouldn't have made a difference. Let's try it one more time. And Moon, rather than using just his strength of arms, is going to try to use the Devil's Ride with a rope to see if he can't help here. So he is going to try and use because it's a much higher strength. Moon has a 8 for strength. The Devil's Ride has a 14, so he's going to try and use that to help. Let's all go ahead and roll one more time. God, Devil's Ride. So, 15. What do we get there? 17. A 20. Unfortunately, that's not going to make it. So we're going to see that's 3 straight failures trying to get the Demon Grinder back on its legs. It looks like we're not going to be able to do so. So it looks like it's just it's too big and it is too damaged for us to be able to get it back over. So at this point, we still have the Devil's Ride and the Tormentor. I would suggest that we now try to repair that Tormentor. If you guys want, you can leave a marker on the map and we can try and see maybe we could have Chukka and Clonk or the Madcaps from Fort Knucklebone try and reclaim this thing for you guys if you ever get back down there. But it looks like with the tools that you've got and with the ropes and that kind of thing, we just aren't able to get it flipped back over onto its wheels to be able to drive it out of here. So let's do this. We got to make. Do you want to drive the Tormentor? Or do you want to go back and try and are we gonna do the artisan tool thing with the blessings of the forge? Not the blessings. The channel divinity.
Let's repair this thing.
Okay, so I am gonna give Audrey advantage on this first roll. So you can roll a d20 and we'll add 6 to it, or roll 2 d20s, roll advantage on it, and we'll add 6 to the higher roll, because Olin is helping her or assisting her through the use of the tools by casting that channel divinity spell to give her the tools to be able to do this. So I want to give her advantage on this roll.
And I don't click the advantage thing. I just do 2 d20s and roll.
No, you can click on the advantage thing. Just roll a single d, or it's just so if you click on your dex score, it's going to say ability or saving. Say ability. And if you use the Alt key, it'll roll with advantage when you click on
it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's just that's the first one. You get to roll it again. So that would have been a 13 with the +6, which would not have been high enough. Or actually, that is adding in it is adding in your +3 from Dex. So I just got to add a 3 to that. So that would actually be a 22. That is going to be high enough. The difficulty check is a 20. So with the Tinkerer's tools that Olin's able to pull together for her, you guys now have a fully functioning Tormentor. That being said, I'm going to jump us back over here for a second. The Tormentor was pretty heavily damaged, if I can remember correctly. We only had about 12 hit points left on the Tormentor. The Demon Grinder was down. The Devil's Ride was completely okay. If you want to do repairs, we can do so as well. Again, that's going to use Smith Tools or Tinkerer's Tools to do so. It basically just takes an hour. It's a DC 15 Dex check with either Smith Tools or Tinkerer's Tools. And every time you guys pass one of the checks per hour, you can add back some hit points to that Tormentor as you repair it. So we're going to say it took us about an hour trying to flip the Demon Grinder. So I'm going to progress. And then if you want to, it took us about a half an hour to do the repairs on the Tormentor. At this point, it's starting to get a little bit later in whatever we call a day here in Hell. do we want to do additional repairs to try to restore some of the hit points to that tormentor?
I'm willing to try if anybody else is okay with that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Don't know what
Yes.
we'll run across.
Let's do it.
So each time you guys make an attempt, we're gonna accelerate the clock by 1 hour. So you can make as many attempts as you want to restore hit points. It's just every time you do so, we go an hour, and there's always the possibility that things could happen as
So I
time
think
goes
we try
by.
one more time. We try one more time. Some more
So-
hit points.
Yeah, so this is going to be for hit points. It's it's a lower check. It's only a DC 15. It's not a DC 20 to try to repair it. So if you want to roll D20 again, and then we'll add 3 to it. That is going to pass. So we get to add 2d4 plus 2. Who would like to roll that to see how many hit points we get back?
Not Ryan, please. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm rolling crap.
That's how I roll it.
All right, so it's
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. All right, so that's going to add 7 hit points back. And that moves us to 8:40 p.m. So right now it is fully functional, but we're still below 50% of its total hit points.
I think we should probably go. You think? Anybody? Or try
Can
one
we
more
do it?
time. You want to try one more time? All right, let's try one more.
So an hour passes and nothing happens, but you guys are able to do a repair. If you want to do another one, it's going to be another D20 plus 3.
Oh.
Nope, that's okay because it's adding in. We have to add an additional 3 to that because you add in your proficiency bonus. So that's actually a 17. So that is going to pass. So you guys get another 2d4 plus 2. Whoever wants to roll that.
Do it, Olin.
Olin.
What?
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
The good news is you guys are making repairs and doing all this, and it's not costing you anything back at Fort Knucklebomb. Ooh, 8. That's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. So you guys are just about back to 50% of the total health on this thing. You guys gave it a pretty firm beating with that head-on collision that you guys went through. And that's going to accelerate us an hour.
I think we track on, and next stop, maybe we try and fix it some more.
Do we shove off?
Sure, I guess.
Okay.
Hope we don't run into anything, I guess.
All right, so you guys want to continue off through the night? I would be remiss if I didn't say, do you guys want to take a short rest, a long rest? I don't think you used a whole lot in that last combat. But like I know Olin has used his Blessing of the Forge. He's now used one of his channel divinities. But I think and he's used a spell slot for that banishment. I don't know if you guys need to redo anything at this point. I don't think anybody really took any damage. But I wanted to offer a short rest or a long rest.
Alistar's good. I think Moon's
Yeah.
good.
I'm good.
Olin still has most of his spell slots. It's just no more big hitter like banishment.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm going to jump us back over to the map. So we are headed up toward Haruman's Hill, which is over here. Notes open here. change up our music here a little bit.
Behold, Zariel's dog crucified those who betrayed his mistress in battle.
Could you guys actually hear that voice?
Faintly.
I've been hearing it the whole time.
So
I keep stop talking because I think someone else is trying to say something.
So, you may remember back when Silvera Savicus gave you this map, she told you that it was crafted by a mad cartographer. As you are following the map and using it to kind of try to, navigate across Avernus, you notice that things move, the flow of the river changes. Sometimes there are extra bends in it. Sometimes something that's on the map disappears. You recognize the map is certainly magical in some way, shape, or form. And it shows the kind of ever-changing nature of Avernus. The Nine Hells are not. They're not. They don't subscribe to the same laws of space and time that the Forgotten Realms do, that you would be used to in the mortal realm. And as you approach certain landmarks, the mad cartographer's voice seems to come out, emanating from the map itself. So this last time, as you were approaching, you come across the bridge, as you're kind of approaching the hill, Haruman's hill, you hear the voice coming out of the map. Behold, Zariel's dog crucified those who betrayed his mistress in battle. And what you see as you pull up at night is this kind of shadowy expanse filled with these iron trees. There is a trail that leads up a summit of a steep hill. As you look at it, you see that these iron trees kind of all grow along the road leading up toward the very top, where there is a massive iron spiked tree. As you look closer, you realize that there are bodies impaled and crucified on the tree's metal branches, the bodies writhing in torment, as bloated fiends buzz in and out, feasting on their blood. As you pull up, Lulu speaks to the group and she says, I remember this place. It's called Coward's Way. It's where Haruman hung all the tortured souls that betrayed Zariel. And as you guys step, or let me ask you this, do you want to get out of the Tormentor and the Devil's Ride to kind of check the area? This is where Lulu wanted to take you to look for more clues about the sword. The way up the hill is not going to be large enough for the Tormentor and the Devil's Ride to both make it up, but you could certainly park the vehicles and get out and search around a bit if you wanted to.
Get out or stay in.
Sure.
This is where we need to get out, and she wanted to search for clues for where the sword is.
Correct.
So we should probably get out and search.
So Lulu, the just a quick recap of her memories. She remembered. So the Hell Riders from Elturel rode into Hell. Zariel leading them. She was an angel that was leading their forces to give battle against the demons. Against the demons. That ride was hellacious. The demons attacked en masse. The Hell Riders were pushed back. Some of them turned coward and ran. Zariel fought on as best she possibly could, but unfortunately, she fell. She was given a choice by Asmodeus, the kind of head muckety-muck demon of the entire Nine Hells. He respected her courage in fighting against the demons and offered to make her the Archduke of Avernus if she would fight for him. She accepted, and in so doing, fell from grace as an angel. But in all of that, Lulu was one of her boon companions. When she knew she was going to fall, she had asked Lulu and her sergeant Yael to take her magical sword and hide it from her because she knew that the demons and the devils would both want it being such a powerful magic weapon. Lulu has memories of running with Yael, but they were tracked and chased by demons. As Yael turned back to fight them, the portal in the distance back to the Forgotten Realms, Lulu helped to cast a powerful spell that encased the sword in stone. A massive mountain or a large hill of some kind of growing up over it. She knows the sword is here somewhere in Avernus, and from getting the memories back when you guys worked with Mad Maggie to take her back through her dreams, she believes that Haruman's hill might be that place. So she wants to get out and search for more clues.
Let's go.
Everybody on board? Everybody getting out?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's go this. I'll give you guys a little bit of a better view here. So, for those of you with dark vision, you're going to see that it looks like it's probably greenish a little bit. Poor Audrey here, though, is going to need either torchlight or her dancing lights if she's going to be able to see here, because it is. I'm going to progress the clock a little bit further. Say that it took us another hour plus to get across the River Styx, and then another hour from that up toward where the hill is. So at this point, it's the middle of the night, early morning of the next day, and it is pretty dark out here. So would Audrey like to use dancing lights or a torch?
I don't have a torch, so I gotta use dancing lights.
So that should make it so that you should be able to kind of see here. So you guys find yourselves at the base of a hill. This is kind of where it starts and begins to go up. You're kind of parked down here in this little basin. The hill kind of goes, it wraps up and around up above you. So the very top of the hill is up here. Pull you guys to it. That's where the very top of the hill is. And it just kind of wends its way down around. You can see that kind of in the weird shimmering lights that keep crackling across the sky from the companion in the distance above El Terrell. So what would you guys like to do? And again, I'm not going to go with a specific marching order, that kind of thing. I'll let you guys move your characters around and tell me what it is that you would like to do.
And this is so that Lulu can regain some of her memories, right?
So Lulu has regained many of her memories. I should probably put Lulu on the board with you guys, huh?
You're my snuffle cats.
Yeah, we got a Lulu. And we got a snuffle cat. And I want to do this to make sure we've got that, because I know we had cast that earlier. Gives him 20 armor, correct. Boom. Go. Yep. So as you guys get out, again, Lulu is saying that she remembers this. She knows that from her time in wandering Avernus after she had lost her memories, that this was referred to as Coward's Way, where some of the Hell Riders that abandoned Zariel's cause were impaled on the iron trees by one of her fierce soldiers, Haruman.
You should probably go check the tree with the most bodies on it first.
Yeah.
Is
Bodies.
path or anything around, or
It's a
Do we
path
see the
like
wall?
to the right, right? Like to go up the hill.
Yep. So if you kind of go this direction, there is like a bloodied path that kind of leads up the hill. So the hill itself. So because this is kind of an open area, I didn't really map, or I shouldn't say, I didn't wall things in, because if you want to try to go straight up like the steeper part of the hill, you can do so. It's just going to reduce your movement because it'll be difficult terrain and you might have to do some climbing with strength checks. But the path itself goes kind of straight, and what you'll see is you'll be kind of going in between, like, so right here is the closest of those iron trees. Yeah, this is the fun of dark vision. Everything doesn't really have any color to it. It kind of turns a monochrome. So for most of you guys, I think I have it just like a light greenish gray.
Yep.
So you can light torches though if you want to. You don't have to rely on dark vision. It's up to you guys. And I think, Olin, you have a light spell. That's one of the things with Heaven's Fall. If you can cast light on anytime you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Righty. So you get a 5-foot light radius. Let's give you a nice holy color here. So it's not a huge area, but you've got light as well. Does anybody else want to light a torch or anything?
A torch?
Yeah, I mean, you guys should all have some of them. Yeah, I mean, Castiel left a ton of them behind, so I'm sure we could just have some torches on the Tormentor. I know she's got. So is your does Severius want a torch?
I'm okay. I can see.
Okay. I'm going to kind of keep moving along here with... So as you kind of move up to where you're at here, Severius, Lulu comes up with you and stops and looks at the iron tree to the side. As she does, you do again see one of those writhing bodies on the tree. And as you stop, it turns and speaks out. I was just a simple foot soldier. What did I know of this war? I only followed where my sergeant led. The horrors I saw, I couldn't stand them. I fled with the others and kissed the fair grass of the ground as the portal to hell closed behind us. It was only later I realized that not all of us had returned. Free me! Free me! And as it's doing that, you see that in the tree around it are these weird creatures. Let me get a couple of them over here for you guys. You can see that like they're feeding on him in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if you guys can see this guy here. Grab him and go here.
Like a bird? What is that?
So that
Hell, demon bird.
if you want to
bird,
if you guys want to roll and see if any of you can recognize it, you could do history. You could do.
Would religion do it?
You could try and do religion. I would allow Arcana, religion, history. I'd even allow nature to see if you recognize it. Any of those kind of... Ryan, I severely hope that your rolls are just getting out of the way in case we have combat.
I hope so too, because they've been crap.
It's like it's this weird, like, It's like you guys pass the COVID around amongst each other. We had like a week where like Digger couldn't roll for anything, and now this week it's going to be Severius can't roll for anything. A couple weeks back when we were doing all the fighting stuff, Olin got in a tear where he wasn't rolling very well. It always seems like it's at least one of you.
Yeah, I was on a hot streak for a while.
Yeah.
Cool off tonight.
I guess it's your turn again, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So as you're checking it out, so Olin, you do recognize what it is. So as you look up, it helps if I'm in the right place. As you're looking at it, you recognize that this is a tiny beast. It is called a sturge. It looks like it's a horrible looking little monster. And it's tiny. Like in D&D, you've got tiny, small, medium, large, giant, those kind of different sizes. This is a tiny beast, so it's little. It's like the size of Severius's large mailed fist. And this horrid little monster kind of looks like a cross between a large bat and an oversized mosquito. It has multiple legs, all of which end in sharp pincers, and it has a long needle-like proboscis that slashes the air as it seeks to feed on the blood of living creatures. And you see it as this figure on the tree is writhing and asking you to free it. Two of them land and immediately begin sucking on this thing like mosquitoes. And you can see as they do, their skin flashes red, almost like with the pulsing beat of this man's heart as they are feeding on it. And you hear him crying out in pain. Will they never cease to feed?
I look at him for a few seconds, and then I yell out, "Moon!"
Moon comes running up. Yeah?
Token mercy moment for you.
So Alatar,
Daniel.
so Dig is actually running Moon, so he gets to formulate his responses. So you've got a creature up on this tree. As you're calling Moon over, Lulu is looking up at this figure on the tree, and she tells the group. She kind of goes back because she sees that Olin was studying these sturges, and she tells him, all of the people that you see on these trees were the ones who are some of the Hell Riders who betrayed Zariel and escaped back through the portal. They stopped fighting the demons. They turned back. And because of that, when they die or if they run afoul of any devils on the other side, if they make deals, when their deal is completed, they show up here and Haruman hangs them on these iron trees. And they basically are fed upon by the sturges, and the spell of the trees keeps them from being able to free themselves. As you're kind of watching, those two sturges suddenly stop feeding and fly off northward.
So these guys on these trees, they're kind of shitheads, right?
Like mosquitoes.
They betrayed them.
Yeah, the people hanging from the trees are shitheads who made deals with devils and then just got fucked when they got back here.
So some of them are.
Said he betrayed or something like that?
Yeah, so Lulu says that these are, for whatever reason, these are all Hell Riders who betrayed Zariel. When the Hell Riders rode into Elturel, these are some of the warriors that turned back and refused to fight for whatever reason. And because of that, Zariel targets them for revenge. So when devils make their way into the realms, they know they can earn favor with Zariel by tricking these people into coming back here in some way, shape, or form. So these are all Everyone that you'll see here on Coward's Way is a deserter. These are tortured souls.
But deserters of the devil, or of Zariel.
Correct.
So they didn't want to hurt humanity.
So this
they good people.
When they betrayed Zariel, this is before Zariel's fall. So this is Lulu telling us. That ride of the Hell Riders, when they charged forth through the portal outside of Elturel into hell to fight against the demons in the Blood War, not everyone showed their mettle. Some few cowards turned and ran back through the portal, betraying Zariel. And this is before she fell. But, she led from the front, and when she looked back, she could see Hell Riders escaping back through the portal, turning and running in fear. Who knows if she would have fallen if they had stood and fought beside her.
Okay, so shitheads. They're all coward shitheads.
Yeah, they when she invaded hell, they turned tail and ran.
Yes.
Shitheads, cowards, betrayal, traitors, whatever you'd like to call them. Shithead works.
So, I guess if Lulu did not intimate this to everyone else, Olin relays that information to everybody that, these guys are all betrayers who are getting their just desserts.
So as Lulu is, let me do that. She gets that. So Lulu is going to see, as you guys are kind of here in the dark, you see Lulu is going to suddenly begin to start glowing a little bit with some of her own light from within. And she's going to fly up, and you can kind of see that the body is there on the tree. And she is going to turn back and say that she doesn't recognize this warrior. But if it's hanging here, it's because it's at the behest, at the command of Zariel. If you want to continue on, we can try to move further up the hill, but we'll probably run across other tormented souls.
I think I'm okay with moving on.
Yeah, Olin is good with continuing.
Cool. All right. Do you guys want to continue to move up the hill? You can do so. It kind of goes in this direction. Lulu's going to kind of fly up a little bit and give you guys a light you can follow. You can see there is another tree here on this side with somebody impaled on it.
Moon kind of shivers a little, but keeps moving with the group.
As Olin gets up to this point, Lulu kind of stops and looks at again, there's more sturges kind of feeding on this one. They fly away as her light kind of comes and settles on it. The eyes of the tormented soul open and focus on Lulu and tell her, "I never should have left my farm, but I yearned for more than my simple home, my simple life. I was so proud the day I joined the Elturelian Guard. I served with honor. I fought in skirmishes and soon joined their cavalry. I followed Zariel when she begged us to join her in this grand folly. I fought for my home, that simple home. But what did I know then of this place? We rode through a blazing portal, Zariel at our head, and we were met brutally by the demon horde. The screams were all around us. My heart beat so loud in time with the pounding gait of my horse. Time seemed to slow as I watched my brothers in arms falling to the hordes around us, like ripened wheat before the scythe. I knew then that all who continued that foolhardy charge would die here. I pulled hard at my horse's reins and fell behind the advancing lines. Call me coward if you will, but I chose what life I could under fairer skies than to die here as chattel for demons. I rode hard back through that portal, whipping my steel bloody to escape, and I didn't stop until I was back. back in my simple home. And as he's saying that, more of those sturges come and land on him and begin to feed. And you can kind of hear him crying out. This time we've got a whole pack of 3 of them that kind of land and begin feeding on him as you guys watch.
Nom nom.
That's a shame.
Lulu is going to kind of continue her way up the hill. And there is another body over here on this tree that's being fed on. And as you go by, you just hear it mumbling, "The pain. The pain. Oh, release me from the pain." Move Moon up. Let me find Snuffle Chops and move him up. Yeah, I keep moving them for you, but I keep forgetting to move him.
Gotcha.
And Snuffle Chops. So as you kind of get to this point, moving up the hill further, in Alatar's mind, and you haven't heard him for a while. He's been pretty quiet since he threw his original temper tantrum. You remember when you first got into El Terrell and then down onto the plains of Avernus, you could really hear your shield fighting to break out of its prison, and it hasn't said a whole lot since. But as you get to this point, you can kind of hear the rumblings, those tendrils of thought that connect to you telepathically. It's almost as if the shield is moving a little bit. Stretching its wings a little bit, its legs. And you hear it very, very quietly kind of whisper from a distance. There is something that watches this place. Careful. Careful, brother. This is a place of power. Something watches. And then it kind of fades back a little bit, and you can feel the tendrils of its telepathic touch are still there, and it seems a little bit wary.
Is it responsive?
Sure, if you want to talk to it, you can.
Yeah. What are you sensing?
Again, you kind of feel that telepathic touch kind of in and out, as if its focus is kind of waxing and waning off of you. And finally it replies back. There is something here. This is a place of power. You can feel like it as he's saying that, it's taking in like all of these bodies, all of these trees, all of these tormented souls is what it means when he's saying this. This is all a show of power, a show of anger. What must have happened here for these souls to be tormented forever like this? This is a statement.
You don't like it?
No, brother. As a prisoner in my own way, I look upon what these souls are suffering. And I am glad that I am not under such power. Be wary. Be careful. Something watches. And as you're having that conversation, as Severius has kind of gotten to the point that he's at, Lulu comes up. And again, there is another body here. And as they go past, all of a sudden it starts screaming out at Severius. You there! I command that you stop. Heed my words. I am unfairly accused of cowardice, and my punishment is entirely unjust. I fought bravely that day. Zariel led the Hell Riders forth against the demonic horde, and I was there. Any man who says otherwise shall feel the sting of my blade. Free me. Free me at once. I demand justice. And again, there are more of the Sturges feeding on it, and as they feed, they then fly back up the path toward the top of the hill.
Look him over and I say it's not my place to judge whether you're here or not, but someone else seems to have thought that you deserve to be here.
So he's going to go completely Karen on you. Get me the manager. I refuse to be treated like this. So it's he just kind of keeps wailing, kind of repeating the same lines. You've noticed that the souls as you pass them tend to repeat the same statements over and over again. And this one just keeps repeating that it was unjustly placed here, that he wasn't a coward. But as you speak back to it, Lulu whispers to you, "Yeah, they can say whatever they want to say, but if Zariel tracked them down and had Haruman hang them here, she did so with a purpose. This one was likely a trickster in real life, and he continues here as a soul."
I look back at Lulu. I spent a few days in jail. Let me tell you, everyone in there says they're innocent.
So as you guys are doing that, Alatar has let you guys know that his shield is sensing something.
Well, if the shield doesn't like it, I'm probably fine with it.
This place seems like a big old jail to me.
So Lulu's going to kind of continue to fly up here a little bit. And you guys see that there are more Sturges that are kind of feeding. And as they do, again, they kind of feed for a bit, sucking blood or life or essence, whatever you want to call it, out of the souls trapped on the trees. They kind of flash red a little bit as they do so, and then they fly off north. As you move up to here, you can see that there's another body over here on the tree. There are more trees kind of opening up ahead of you. And as you get to this point, you realize that now it's not just the trees with the figures on it, that the trees are kind of more well-defined. There's more spikes. As you look, you can see that there's something glistening on the trees. And as you go to move past this one, let me have all of you guys roll a... Actually, no, I'm just going to use your passives. 11 is good. 15 is good. 15, 11. Yeah, you guys are all well above it. So as you get to this point, with the exception of Severius and Severius and Alatar. You guys have got 11s. I was looking for a 15 or above, which the rest of you guys have got. You now see that there are placards, like iron embossed placards on the tree with names. This guy over here that was barking orders at Severius has a placard just below his feet with his name on it that says Thies Hamlin. You can see Lulu kind of pauses and looks at this one, and she sees that it also has a name on it. This one is called Chebel Corby. So it looks like as you're moving further up Coward's Way toward the top of Haruman's Hill, the trees themselves are growing larger with more spikes, and there are now names engraved on them. As you stop in front of... Oh, go ahead.
I asked Lulu if she recognizes any of the names.
She pauses and she's trying to, tilts her head as if she's trying to remember, and she says, I don't recognize their names. I don't recognize their faces. I don't recognize their names, but there were so many that rode with Zariel that day, and so many that turned and ran back through the portal. And as she's saying that, you can hear whispering from the body. It's kind of just hanging limply. There's 4 sturges attached to this one, kind of in the tree all around the body here. This one is, the head is just hanging limply, but you can hear it going, I repent. I confess. I betrayed my loyalties in fear and base cowardice. I repent. Please. That must count for something. How long must I hang for my crimes? How long? I repent. And as you kind of hear that whispering, as Alatar moves up, the shield again in your head, those thick kind of oily telepathic tendrils reaching out to you. This is not a place that cares for forgiveness. Like, poor Snufflechops keeps getting left behind. Severius is going to kind of continue his way up. You can see again on the left and right side of the path, there is another tree here and another tree here, both of which have bodies hanging from them. Again, those weird mosquito bat-looking sturges feeding on them, glowing red as they do so. As you get close to this one, you can see that it has a name on it of Marland Goliath, and this one has a name engraved Henrik Stouthammer. As you get closer, Olin, all of a sudden this one calls out to you. And you hear it say, "Cleric, dwarf brother." And you look up and you realize this is a dwarven man hanging from the tree, his soul hanging here. And he looks down at you and he says, "If you see Moradin, ask him if he remembers one of his fallen friends. Beg him of my forgiveness. I had but one moment of cowardice in a lifetime and knew not what running from this battle would mean. I was a coward but for a moment. For but a moment."
I look over at Olin, ask him if he wants to do anything about that.
Moradin does not smile upon cowards who do not confront his enemies.
And as you say that, again, more of those sturges kind of fly up and away, heading back toward the top of the hill. Lulu's going to kind of continue here with Moon. You are noticing as you kind of move farther up now, as these spirits are reaching out to you, calling out to you, telling you their stories, they're kind of aggressively getting louder. You can hear the whispers behind you of the ones that have already spoken, and it seems to be awakening the ones ahead of you, so that as your lights move closer, as you get closer, it's almost as if they kind of begin to speak immediately. As Moon is passing the one and Audrey's kind of coming up here on the one on the right with the sign of Marland Goliath, you hear a young woman calling out. She's dressed in kind of torn battle armor that looks like it was from the Elturellian Guard. And she's telling you, the wounds I took that day left me maimed and incapable of anything other than dying in the mud of this hellacious place. Does it matter that I received those wounds as I fled back to the portal? I never made it. Who is to say I would not have regained my courage and turned back to defend my comrades, to stand shoulder to shoulder against the hordes of the abyss? Should I be punished forever upon this hill like the rest of these fools? Nope.
Yep. Careful.
So it looks like so Lulu and Severius continue to move up. As you kind of get up here, you can see that there are, again, more bodies on these trees. And then directly ahead of you, kind of here toward the top, is a giant iron tree. And you can hear the hissing whisper of those vibrating, bat-like wings of the sturges. You can't see them, they're kind of in the dark, but you can hear them in the trees around you, feeding again on the souls. Every now and then you can hear them like bats going over your heads, heading toward the giant tree toward the end of the hill here. As you walk past, Severius sees another. This time you see that there is a tiefling woman named Tycho Weller, based on the embossed placard on this iron tree. She hangs limply. You can just hear her cries of pain, kind of unintelligible, as she hangs here on this tree.
Why isn't Moon rescuing everybody?
That's up to Digger.
Why isn't Moon rescuing her?
Moon is trying to make sure we get to the end of the road here, which we were here for Lulu.
Stop.
All right.
You guys continue to move up if you like. Do this so it's kind of easy to see where this guy is. He's just kind of hanging there. I don't know if you'll be able to see him. So I put a circle around this guy. I don't know if that helps you guys see him at all. Lulu can kind of fly up a little bit and put a little bit of light on him. So as you get to this point, you can see that there is a figure hanging in this tree. It is a giant iron spine tree with dozens of sturges in the branches around this one figure. As you look at him, you can see that he looks different than some of the other spirits or souls that you see on the other trees. This one seems just strange in some way. And as you get closer, his eyes open and focus in on each of you. You can look down and see Lulu.
Does he
Lulu,
seem
you know this
friendly?
dude?
I'm sorry, I couldn't. What was that?
Lulu, do you know this man?
Just trying to put snuffle chops over here. There we go. So as Lulu looks up at him, she kind of tilts her head a little bit, and she seems to pause for a moment, and then you see her. She moves just far enough forward to get some light on him, and she pauses and says, "I think his name was Jander Sunstar." And as she says that, his eyes open wide and he looks down upon her. And that's going to be a good place for us to take our 15-minute break, since it's just about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So let's take 15 minutes. And I'm, as I mentioned, Jeanette's traveled this weekend, so I'm walking Marky again, and he's behind me crying a little bit. So I want to take him out for a walk. So we'll take the full 15. Let's be back by 10 after, and we will jump in and see what Lulu remembers and what you guys would like to do about it.
Okay.
Cool. Back in
All
5
right.
minutes. So we find ourselves at the top of Haruman's Hill here, having wound our way up along Coward's Way, the iron trees lined with the tormented souls of Hell Riders who betrayed Zariel. As you reach the top, you have seen Lulu move forward, staring up at this figure that is hanging from the largest tree at the very top. And As she stared at him, you had asked if she recognized him, and she paused, and she does. She said that his name was Jander Sunstar, and as she said that, his eyes opened wide and focused in on her. So as he looks down, you see that around him in the tree is a dozen or so of those different sturges, those bat-like mosquito creatures. As you watch, a group of them, kind of in ones and twos, slowly land on or near him. But you notice that they're doing something different than what they did with the other souls. Rather than feed on him, you could literally see them like pulling essence or blood or life out of the other souls. When they attach to him, it's almost as if they are kind of regurgitating whatever they pulled out of the other souls into this creature. So even though he is impaled on the thorns and is being held kind of crucified to the tree, it's almost as if they are trying to pump him full of life or pump him full of blood as he hangs there. And as they do so, you see that like some of his wounds where he is pierced heal a little bit and then slowly kind of reopen as the sturges fly back away from him. And you're seeing this kind of, it's like a repetition. Different sturges come in and land, they pump him full of blood and life, they fly away. For the few seconds that he's being infused, it's as if he begins to heal, and then as they fly away, his wounds reopen, and he hangs there limply, impaled on the tree. What would you guys like to do?
We would like to leave.
Cool.
Hey, ask questions?
Yeah, you guys can do whatever. You can ask Lulu questions. You can try to speak to him. You can do whatever you like.
Ask Lulu who he was.
So as Lulu looks upon him, she turns back to the rest of you and says, his name was Jander Sunstar. He was one of the warriors who joined Zariel in her assault on the Nine Hells. He led a great host of Hell Riders for her. He was once held in her highest honors. This was one of her former generals. And as she's saying that, he kind of and you can see flecks of blood kind of spit out of his face here a little bit. Give you a little bit of a idea of what he looks like, by the way. Kind of this pale figure with blonde hair, elven ears. He hacks up some blood and looks down and he says, "Ah, little one, have you come to cast your stones, to look upon the traitor? Have you come? Did she send you?" Lulu's gonna look back up at him and... No, Jander, I haven't seen Zariel in a very long time. We're simply looking for something, and I thought it might be here. He looks down at the rest of you, then back at Lulu. It seems you have some new friends. And again, more of the Sturgis kind of come in and connect to him, pumping him full of life, and you see him kind of come back a little bit, and then again his wounds reopen. And he says, "It seems I've hung here forever. Tell me, what year is it? How long have I been on this tree?"
good question. What year is it?
How long has it been?
So it is currently the year 1495 DR in the Forgotten Realms. If you give him that information, he is going to laugh and say that he is kind of laughing in pain. I have barely hung here for a decade, and yet it feels like a lifetime. Tell me, little one, could I convince you to let me down, to free me from this hell? Lulu's gonna kind of back up to the rest of you and look at the group.
What's the price to let you down?
So he's get everybody on the screen here. There we are. So he's gonna kind of focus on Alatar and tell you, name your price. If you'll get me down off of this tree, I'll do whatever you ask. And as you kind of look at him, he's got this kind of gleam in his eye as another one of the Sturges lands on his shoulder. It's the pointed proboscis slamming into Jander's neck, and you can see his eyes glow red as this thing disgorges some blood or essence, whatever it is that they're sucking out of these souls, into this figure. Again, his wounds partially healing and then opening again as he hangs from the tree.
Yeah, the question isn't what you'll give us, is what it'll cost us for letting you down.
You've surrounded yourselves with some smart friends this time, Lulu. That's an excellent question. You certainly won't earn the friendship of Zariel or of any of her generals. It is because of them that I hang here.
And what value could you give us for letting you down?
What value do you seek? He turns back to Lulu. You say that you're searching for something, little one. What is it? Perhaps I could point you in the right direction. Maybe I even know where this thing is. Is it someone or something that you seek? And Lulu's going to kind of flutter back behind the group. And as she does so, she's going to kind of lowly, under her voice, say, I don't want to speak for all of us. But if he can provide us any help, he might be worth bartering with. Jander was once well held by Zariel. He was high in her affections. But if she's placed him here, her anger must have been great. I don't know what he did, but it must have been nothing short of complete and utter betrayal. If he betrayed her, I don't know how strong I hold his word, but any lead he can give us would be worthwhile, if we feel we can trust it. I don't know what pulling him off that tree will do. And as she says that, in the back of Alatar's mind, you hear, something watches.
Alatar tells the group that something is watching us, waiting for us to make a move.
I don't like the fact that something is hanging back, waiting to see what we do.
Lulu, do we think we need him?
I hope that coming here I would find some clue as to where the sword is, but none of this looks familiar. I've heard of Coward's Way, but it was created after the fall of Zariel. I don't know if the sword is here or not, but the memories that Mad Maggie helped me recover pointed me here. If we want to continue to try to search for the sword, we've got to find something. Maybe Jander can point us in the right direction. But I worry that if we pull him down off of that tree, we'll be tying ourselves to his fate.
Any thoughts? Anybody?
I'm not a big fan of taking him down. Obviously, there will be repercussions if we do. What that is, I don't know, but
Alatar's fine with moving on. Looks like some
I
waste of
concur.
time, though.
doesn't hurt to ask. We can ask
Yeah, I mean-
if he knows anything.
Yeah. He may just say, I know where it is, but you got to let me down.
Hit him.
Okay. I ask him, what was his name?
Jander.
Jortuel?
Jander.
Jander. Jander, we're looking for Zariel's sword. Would you know where that is?
He coughs up like a long, phlegmy, fleshy-sounding cough and kind of spits. And as he does, blood lands at the base of the iron tree. And he says, so you all seek Zariel's lost sword. And he turns back to Lulu and he says, I would think this one would know where it is since she helped hide it. What's wrong, little one? Can't remember. And he laughs a little bit in pain as again more of the Sturges kind of come in, converge on him, fill him full of blood, fly back away. He says, I will not lie to you. Too many lies have put me where I am now. I don't know where the sword is, but I think I could direct you to something that does.
Think we leave him up there.
Yeah, I don't,
He's gonna attract something.
and I don't think we can trust him in his desperation to be released. It's like, people being tortured will say anything, admit to anything.
Moon is just going to rub his eyes and say that if we're going to move on, let's move on.
So let me ask this question. How do you know he's evil?
I don't believe that he's evil. I think that he's gonna attract it if we pull him down. Because if the shield says something's watching, right, and he's up there for a reason, we take him down. If he says he can only kind of direct us to somebody who might know, there's nothing saying we can't find that person on our own.
I agree. I'll go with the group. He's meting out his punishment.
Is there a fast way down this mountain?
There can be, yeah. If you guys want to head back to the infernal war machines, we can do that. where are you guys going to want to go next?
Okay. Yeah, I guess we can try and fast track it. What do you guys want to do?
I just meant back down to the vehicles, not fast track to somewhere else.
No, I mean, I can help you guys get back down to the vehicles. I can just drag you down the hill.
Because ultimately, Lulu, we're looking for a structure that was formed around the sword, right?
Yep.
So not necessarily a mountain, but maybe a structure.
So Lulu remembers that the literally the stone of Avernus itself grew up around where Yael placed the sword, slammed it into the ground beneath his feet, and it swirled around him and the demon that was coming for it. And in those memories, which you guys walk through her, it led her here as kind of the next step on her dream journey, trying to figure out, where the sword is. She was hoping that maybe it was the hill, Haruman's hill. But all you guys have found thus far is these iron trees with tormented souls on.
Are we looking for spires then? Perchance? Don't
know. It's going to come down to what kind of sparks her memory, or what leads people can give her to try to figure out where it is. It's one of those things that's been this is one of those treasures that people have been trying to find in Avernus for a long time. When you guys mentioned it to Mad Maggie, it was one of the reasons why she was willing to help Lulu, is that she collects information about Zariel. Mad Maggie hates Zariel with a passion, so anything she can learn about her, she tries. Which is why she was so willing to help you guys try to find the sword. It's been missing ever since the fall of the Hell Riders. Even Zariel can't find it.
Where are we right now? What'd you say?
So on this map, actually, let me turn my thingamabobbers back on so I can see everything. So right now you guys are at Haruman's Hill, which is this hill that you see, like the tree here at the very top. That's the tree at the top of the hill that Jander is hung on. Way back down here, that's Fort Knucklebone, where you guys originally came from. So this map that you're looking at is kind of ever-changing and swirling, because it's that weird magical map of Avernus. And I mean, you guys, so you guys can choose to do whatever you want to do. If you want to go driving across Avernus, just kind of trying to check on different landmarks, we can do that. If you want to try to find somebody else that can give you another lead, you can do that. If you want to try and get more out of Jander as he hangs from the tree, you can do that. If you want to shake Lulu and see if it knocks free any memories, you can do that. It's whatever you guys want to do.
We could try hitting Lulu.
Yeah, let's give Lulu a shake.
This fucking group took a hard right in hell.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, my friend.
We're going to make Moon smack Lulu around. He can cry his salty tabaxi tears as he has to punch this little celestial elephant.
No punches. Open hand slaps. He's not that brutal.
It's like everybody trying to calm the lady on the airplane in Airplane.
Exactly. Calm down.
Did Severius already go all the way back down to the cars? Is that Ryan's like, fuck this place. All right, so as you guys are kind of trying to figure out what you want to do, Jander is going to call out to Lulu one last time and say, I can see that you are loath to help me, little one. I understand. I wouldn't want to call down her wrath either. Leave me here. I've earned it. I wish you well, and I hope that you can find it. Though many have tried. Maybe you'll be the one that can actually reclaim what was lost. And you see he kind of wiggles around on the thorns a little bit, tearing open new wounds that immediately kind of begin to heal. And Lulu pulls back as she turns to Moon and Olin and says, I remember. Oh, Jander is a vampire. It's not a soul. That's really him up there. She's imprisoned him there forever. And as she's saying that, again, you see some of the Sturges come in and like pump him full of whatever it is that they're pulling out of the other souls, and he heals a little bit. Some of his color comes back. And then as they fly away, again, his wounds reopen, and he's just kind of left dangling there on the tree.
Why did she put him here, Lulu?
He was once one of her great generals, but he betrayed her. He led a large part of the forces of the Hellriders back through the portal. He's one of the reasons why the charge failed. I don't know why he did it, but I remember Zariel cursing his name as we fought and turned back to see him leading his host of warriors backwards, rather than with us.
Let's keep going. Let's go.
Okay.
That's
Back in the
Alatar.
car.
That's Alatar, not Moon.
All right, if you guys want to head back down to the infernal war machines, let's do that. As you guys are kind of starting to, I'm going to let you guys move yourselves down around. As you guys are kind of moving down around, you can hear the wings of the Sturges are buzzing almost as if angrily as you're kind of walking down off of the hill.
I only see the large map, not the small map.
Oh. Go ahead and... My bad. I didn't pull all you guys back over here with me. There you go.
There we are.
Olin's gonna YOLO it. Alatar's gonna YOLO it, go right off the hill. You guys can. If you go down, that's absolutely fine. It's harder coming up because it's difficult terrain, but you can make it down. So as Moon and Lulu and Audrey and Snufflechops here are kind of starting to make their way down, Lulu is going to turn to Moon and say, I don't know where we go next. Maybe Mad Maggie will have another clue. I really thought there would be something here. But now that we're here, all I feel is sadness. The sadness of all these souls that betrayed Zariel and will pay for their crimes forever. And Lulu is going to kind of fly over to say one last goodbye to Jander, and just kind of beg him for some more info, and he just kind of laughs at her. Doesn't give her anything. So she is then going to move with you guys kind of down the hill here. Move Moon down. get there. I'll even move Audrey and Snufflechops down. All right, so you guys can have a little bit of a powwow here. What do you guys want to do?
Guess we want to try another spot. Where do we want to go?
Another spire, another mountain, another... Have we heard of any other rumors or anything that might lead us to a new location?
I guess we ask Lulu if anything seems familiar.
So Lulu says that...
looking at the map.
So looking at the map doesn't help. She's like, too much in Avernus constantly moves. I would need to get a lay of the land, try and take a look around. Maybe if we wait until morning when there's some light, I might be able to fly up high enough and find us another marker that we can try and drive to.
Oh. That's okay with me. You want to wait till morning?
Dangerous. Let's do it.
All right, you guys want to take a... So it is about 1:40 in the morning. Do you want to take a long rest, a short rest? Long rest would be 8 hours. You guys would get back any spell slots or stuff that you've utilized until now. You can get full health back too if anybody's been injured, which I don't think anybody has.
I don't think we've had combat in a while. Long rest is fine. It'll be morning. Might as well.
All right, everybody go ahead and do a long rest on your character sheet. I'll do it for Moon. And go ahead and make sure it does have checked off is new day. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll put it about just about 20 to 10 in the morning. And that'll give you guys a slightly better look at where you were all night long. Now that you can actually see the map and not in full light of day rather than just dark vision. And, okay, so Lulu is going to try to fly up and see if she can't find another location. Do you guys want to do anything while she does that?
Watch out for bad guys.
So because you guys are kind of in this, like, it's a bit of a depression that you guys are in here.
Eaten by a dragon.
Yeah, the hill kind of the hill kind of wraps up and around. So Lulu's going to have to fly up pretty high. So you see her, she starts flying as quick as her little wings will take her. She gets up about 120 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet. She's kind of becoming a little speck up in the sky. You see her pause and slowly kind of turn in place. As she is doing so, you see her kind of stop and stare. And then she flies up a little bit higher as if she's trying to get a really good look at something. And then all of a sudden you see kind of like out of the can't say the sun because you don't really have a sun in Avernus, but like out of the sky, all of a sudden you see a large winged creature comes darting down. Behind it, 3 more flying in a direct line at Lulu. And you see it's almost like they like spear tackle her in the air, the largest of the 4, hitting her dead in the center. And you see that they fly off to the west. One of them kind of clutching Lulu in its pincers. And what you see here this. It looks like that.
Olin says, "What the shit?"
Balls.
So do you guys, you see that? That pop up? The buggy?
Yeah.
It looks like a wasp.
Yeah. So these things are gigantic. They're like the size of horses. So when Lulu flew up high enough, she caught their attention and they flew out and grabbed her. You see that they have gone kind of down the hill, making a beeline to the west. What would you guys like to do?
Shit. We better follow that wasp.
Alrighty. I'm going to jump us back over here to the actual map. So you guys, again, were up here. They were heading toward the west, kind of in this direction. So are we taking the same seats as last time? We'll say like, Moon's on the Devil's Ride. Is Severius driving again? Or have we rescinded his privileges because he likes to mush people into the mud?
It might be coming handy this time.
I'm fine.
Okay to drive.
Same routes are good.
I'm fine with the previous setup.
Okay, so here's what I would like to do. So it's kind of a little bit of a chase. You guys are trying to kind of keep these things in view so you can see where they're going. So let's what I would like to do is we're going to do 3 rounds. Okay, so we've got 5 folks. In each round, at least 3 of you have to succeed for us to keep the wasps in sight. And what we are going to roll is going to be perception or investigation. I will let you choose which of the two. If you are using like intuition, you're trying to say, well, they were going in that direction. They kind of went around this hill. If I come over here, we'll still see them. That can be investigation. If you just are saying, I'm keeping my eyes on them as best as possible, that would be perception. So we're going to do 3 rounds. We're setting the difficulty of 14. So 3 rounds, at least 3 of you per round have got to get a 14 or higher for us to keep these wasps in view and not lose track of where Lulu is headed. So let's go ahead and do our first round. I'm going to have you guys do this here. Hang on uno segundo. Well, let's go ahead here. I'm going to take you guys. I'm going to pop you into combat just so that we have a combat tracker. So everybody go ahead and roll an initiative for me, and we can just go in that order as we do our rolls. You can roll initiative just by going up to the fist, clicking on the die.
Fist it.
Fist it up. I will roll for Moon. You are all welcome.
And did you say perception?
We're going to, but we're lining folks up in a marching order first. If you go into the fist and click on the initiative, and then we'll roll through in order. That's way I can track the rounds as well. So that. So Moon is going to roll first. Let's see here. So Moon's got a 6 investigation and an 8 perception. Do you guys want him to roll investigation? So he'll roll.
Bastard.
He will roll. Oh shit! So that's a fail. So Moon does not make his roll. Do that. I'm gonna go to Audrey. So Audrey, perception or investigation? Which would you like to roll? That's 2 fails. That's no bueno.
How many of us have to succeed?
Just
the rest of you.
Just the rest of you. Just the rest of you.
All right, investigation.
Otherwise, you run the risk of losing track of them. It's not your turn yet. Is Severius' turn.
Oh, okay. Come on, baby.
That is a 1. Now it's Alatar's turn.
Oh, my bad. Investigation. shit.
Shit.
Uh,
No, Lulu.
hang on uno segundo here. There was one
Fly,
thing I
Snuffle, fly.
I mean, this was a 2 out of 3, right?
I want to make sure I've got inspiration on certain folks because Moon's going to use his.
Yeah, aren't you guys some
There
of
we
you
go.
lucky?
Yeah, that's true.
So Moon just used his and he got a natural 20. So that works. So we've got 2. And as we do with all of our skill challenges, technically a crit means that you succeeded twice. So you guys have got your 3 for this round, but we'll let Olin roll just for shits and giggles.
I don't need to. We can just move on.
So that's going to be back to Moon. Let's see how he does this time. That's a pass. So that's 1 for second round. That's going to bring us back to Audrey. That's going to be a pass. That's 2.
Money, big money.
That, unfortunately, would be a fail. You do have inspiration if you want to try to re-roll, however.
We got 2 more tries. I'll save it just in case.
All right. We need 1 more. Let's try Alatar.
God damn it.
Oh, okay. So now it's all on Olin. All on Olin, or you could possibly lose. Olin comes through in a pinch.
Hurrah!
That's 2 rounds down, my friends. 1 more successful round, and we will have located where they have taken our favorite Hollyphant. Go ahead and do another perception here. Moon's going to give you a +1. We need 2 more, folks. Let's try Audrey again. With an 18, that is another success. Don't you love the halfling luck? They can't roll a 1. That brings us to Severius.
I need some of that.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
That is unfortunately another 6. Severius is looking to roll the sign of the beast tonight.
The number of the beast.
I'm almost there.
Do you want to roll that inspiration, or are you going to leave it up to Alatar and Olin to get the third one?
I'll use my inspiration. Sure, let's do it one more time.
Going for the third 6.
Oh, that was close.
That unfortunately is gonna still be a fail, but better. Though for a
So it's a
second,
9.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought it was a 6. That's gonna be Alatar. We've got 2 chances left here, folks. All we need is one more succeed.
All right, here we go. Investigation. Yes.
Boom.
Bam.
There
Nice.
you go. All right, so you guys are able to track Lulu as she is going through the sky. You see that these creatures are pulling her toward this kind of strange cocoon-like, nest-like structure. What seems like it would have only been a mile or so. As you turn and look back over your shoulder, you realize that you have almost come miles from Haruman's Hill. It's as if the very scenery in Avernus is changing around you as you are going. You arrive outside of this kind of like strange wasp-like nest that is floating in the sky. stuck to the ground of Avernus with those same kind of infernal chains that you saw that were connected to Elturel, but in just much smaller form. It's this gigantic sack of wet, papery material floating high above the surface. As you look up, you can see that there are angelic figures with feathery wings that are stuck to its surface like flies in amber. Their bodies struggling futilely underneath the layers of gunk. Iron chains at the bottom of the structure tether it back to the hellish landscape. Give you kind of a better understanding of what it looks like here. That's what Did it just pop up an image for you guys?
CC, senor.
See?
So that's kind of what the wasp is. So we're like at the very bottom of it. It's kind of what you see here on the screen. But we're as we look up again, it's something is keeping it elevated, and you can see like through the papery, wet sack-like skin of the hive, what look like angels, like trapped in amber, struggling to release themselves, wrapped in infernal chains. And this thing is up above you. You have seen that the wasps have flown in through one of the openings toward the bottom end, taking Lulu inside with them. What would you like to do?
Kill it with fire. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Guess we gotta practice our chain climbing skills again.
You could certainly climb up the chains and into this thing if you wanted to. Yep. I'm open to any and all suggestions. Lulu is trapped up inside of this thing. What you want to do?
Hello?
Oh. Anything? Bueller?
Well, I know Severius has be right back on his.
Yeah.
Fallen angels are meat for the hell.
We gonna climb back up and
Steer clear
beat some ass?
unless you nourish their young with your
Are they gonna
flesh.
pew pew like some wasp stuff at us while we're trying to climb up?
So you're not seeing any wasps outside of it right now. So it's possible you might be able to climb up into it. You may get attacked on the way. It's, it's up to you guys what you want to do.
That's what he said.
Lynn is just not real keen on climbing up the chains again, but if that's the only way we can do it, that's all that can be seen around here.
Fallen angels.
I mean, the chains are
are
keeping them from floating away, right?
hell.
So I mean, if we cut chains, then they fly
Steer
away.
clear unless you nourish their young with your flesh.
Well, yeah, if you cut the chains, this thing's going to float away. Most likely. It looks like the chains are kind of keeping it. And again, these chains are not the sizes of the chains that were used to kind of keep Elturel. These are much, much smaller, so they're probably these are more ladder-like in terms of size. Whereas like when you came down from Elturel, those chain links were all like 20 to 30 feet in length. These are all, 2 to 3 feet. So climbing these is more like climbing up a ladder.
Okay, but wasn't there some effect of just being on the chain before we took damage?
Yeah, so the infernal iron from the chains as you came down, because you guys were on them for so long, because it was 500 feet of chain to climb down. After you were on it long enough, you had to start rolling constitution checks because the chains were starting to have a negative effect on you. So these things you're talking like this is about 35, 45 feet up in the air.
Okay, so this is a theoretically much shorter, simpler issue. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right.
so
yeah, let's climb.
If you guys want to climb that far, yeah. So when you climb, it's like difficult terrain, right? So as you climb, it actually it cuts your movement in half. So, Olin can normally go 25 feet. So as you climb up, you're going to do it in, let's say, we'll say Tide of the Runner, we'll say 15-foot increments. So it's 45 feet. It would take you 3 strength checks to make it up. Whereas like Severius, who can do 30 feet, it's gonna be the same type of thing. So it's gonna be 3 strength checks to try to get to the top of the sucker, and try to get your way in through the lowest. If you want to go in through one of the lower doorways, that kind of, or passageways, I guess I should say, that leads into the nest. So if you guys want to climb up, we can just do some basic strength rolls. If you want to do it stealthily, we'll do it a little bit different. It's up to you guys how you want to try and get up there. It is, let's say, I'm going to tack an hour on from the drive, trying to track things down. It's kind of mid-morning, bright and sunny as, hellscape can possibly get. Smoke rising up from fire pits around you in the plains, and you can see in the distance there are other nests of these hell wasps, but they all seem relatively quiet right now. Whether it's the time of day,
maybe we should go with some stealth then.
I go with stealth as well. Climb, stealth.
Stealth.
Okay.
Olin is not great at that. He'll bring up the rear.
Yeah,
I'm bringing up the rear. Yeah, that's not my forte.
So we'll go Moon, Audrey, Alatar, Severius, Olin.
Yeah, we'll have the anchors down at the bottom just in case somebody falls.
Yeah, because Severius is faster than Olin as well, so yeah, probably should be ahead of him.
Okay. So in whatever order you guys want to do, if you're gonna roll stealth to go up, roll your stealth check first, and then roll your strength check to try and get up. What I will say is that if you're going stealthy, it's gonna cut a little bit of your movement off. So you could normally go, say, 15 feet on a strength check. If you're gonna go stealthy as you do it, I'm gonna reduce that down to 10, which means you're gonna do a total of 4 rounds to climb up. But we'll only do 1 stealth check at the beginning, and then we can use that for the entire climb if you like.
All right, roll for Moon.
And here. So do we want to have Moon going up stealthily? Is that what we're going to do?
Yes.
So let me do this and make it a little easier. Pop you guys out so you can actually see yourselves. So Moon is going to roll stealth. That'll be fine. And then he's going to roll a strength check. Let me actually just check something here. Yep, it's the same thing for his Arcana. So, Moon is having a tough time getting up off the ground. He is trying to move so stealthily that even though he gets onto the chain, he's not really making any headway. Who's going to go second? So we'll say Moon's going first. That's an excellent stealth check. You guys are well above the DC, so you're good. So Audrey's going to go up second. Audrey's having some trouble getting off the ground as well. And just to be clear, the DC for this is we're only setting because it's almost ladder-like, the DC is 8. So 8 or above means you guys are making your moves. Unfortunately, Audrey and Moon have not rolled well in the first two, but it's because they're moving stealthily. They're trying to be as safe as possible. Who would like to go third?
Alatar's going to go third. Stealth. Ugh.
So Alatar thinks he's being super stealthy as the chains shake and rust and rattle around him. You want to go ahead and roll a strength check? We'll see how high you get.
Some weak SOPs, aren't we?
Not real high. Severius, Olin, you want to climb up there and pull these guys up?
I am strength of the mind.
Don't roll a 1.
Who's going to go next, our cleric or our paladin?
Paladin, go.
And I'm rolling a strength check.
Yeah, if you don't care about being stealthy, you can go a full 15 feet. It's athletics, whatever your athletics is.
Okay.
For most of these guys, it's the same, but you might have higher if you get skill in it. Yeah. So Severius goes his full 15 feet, looking back at the rest of you like, what? It's a fucking ladder chain, for Christ's sakes. Let's see how Olin does. Olin shimmies right up after him, keeping pace with his paladin buddy here. Okay, that's going to bring us back around to Moon.
No more stealth for me.
Poor Moon. Oh! Moon rolls high, even with his -1. He makes it. So Moon does his 15 feet. That's going to bring us back to Audrey. Very nice.
Good. Got up that rope at gym class.
Audrey's going so fast that she decides to pass Moon as she's going. Back to Alatar, who is still standing with both feet on the ground. Goes vaulting up.
Double.
He just went up that chain like a spider monkey.
And back to Severius.
All right.
Even with a 4, with his pluses, Severius continues on up. Back to Olin. Still rolling high. Rolling Olin almost toward the top of the chain, even his shorter dwarven legs allowing him to keep pace as he pulls with his strong arms, all those years working in a forge, allowing him to pull himself up the iron with ease. Back to Moon. Come on, Moon. Moon stays right where he is. Let's see how Audrey does.
Just gonna have to find another giant, that's all.
Audrey is rolling real well on her skill challenges tonight. She goes another 15 feet up, one more success, and Audrey will be inside. Back to Alatar. Alatar is tired after climbing 15 feet and decides to take a break. Back to Severius, who with his success will be able to walk his way into the Hellwasp nest. There he goes. So Severius has made it to the top. Let's see if Olin follows him in through the paper-like sack wet opening. And he does. A little difficulty there toward the end, but he's able to pull himself up and in. Your cleric and your paladin have entered into the Hellwasp nest. Let's see if we can get our rogue, our bard, and our sorceress warlock there as well. Moon's hanging on for dear life. Back to Audrey. Audrey's taking a break as well. Her little halfling legs wrapped around the chain as she takes a breather. Let's see how Alatar does.
This isn't funny.
It is.
Colossal magical powers, backstabbing damage, inspiring leadership. You guys can't climb or jump.
I forgot about the bridge.
Yeah. Let's try one more set here, see how we do. There we go. Moon's gonna go up another 15. Audrey is gonna make it all the way in.
Come on, Alatar.
It's a race between our nimble rogue.
That's
there
right,
we
double.
go. Alrighty, so let's so we will simply say that you guys will come crawling in here at the end rather than making you make too many more of these. And let's just say that we've got everybody here inside of the Hellwasp nest. So as you come up through, so kind of where you see Alatar here at the back, this is a hole that leads out back down to the chain that you guys came up through. You find yourselves in kind of a small, naturally crafted room as you climb up into this area inside of the nest. Ahead of you in the middle of the floor, you can see a bunch of discarded gear amongst the gory effluvia and remains of some of the creatures that the wasps have caught and devoured. In the walls around you, kind of caught in amber and in the paper type material, what the wasps use to build their nest, you can see glowing through it angels trapped, their energy kind of leaching out into the walls of the room, lighting it up around you as you come out. You can see to the south is another tube that looks like it goes up kind of through the wall heading upward, and another one here just to the north of you as well. I'm just going to keep us going in that exact same order that we came up, and right now we would be up to Severius. So as Severius is looking about the room, what would you like to do?
I'd like to kind of look through the debris here and see if there's anything useful.
Okay. Got a passive of 11. That's more than high enough. So as you're digging around inside of it, you find that there is, most of it is complete junk. But you do find a backpack that has healer's kits inside of it. As you kind of thumb through, you realize that there are 5 healer's kits. And I don't know if you guys have actually had access to healer's kits yet. It's basically a leather pouch, contains bandages, salves, splints, other types of, like a first aid kit, basically. And each kit has 10 uses. As an action, you can use it to stabilize a creature with 0 hit points, without needing to make a wisdom or medicine check. So, for example, if somebody goes down and is about to start making death saves, rather than having to use your medicine skill, you can literally just apply a healer's kit to stabilize them. There are 5 of those in the backpack.
I like it.
So as Severius is kind of digging around, what does anybody else? Next would be Olin. What would Olin like to do? So you see Severius is kind of looking around through the stuff on the floor.
Olin can just kind of keep an eye out. In listening, does he hear any kind of anything that seems like it would be an immediate threat?
Nothing as of yet. So, as you kind of are moving around the room, you can hear that there is some like buzzing noise coming through this tube. But you're not quite sure where it is coming from.
Okay. Yeah, he'll just take a look around and, just kind of keep on guard.
Okay. Moon is going to go back trying to be super stealthy, which he is. And he is just going to kind of post up, and he's going to be checking out, trying to like look through the lit up paper wall here to figure out what's going on with this angel behind it. What would Audrey like to do?
Audrey's thinking.
And just so you guys know, the same way that we've had other multi-level maps, if you go over to one of those other tubes, it is set up with like teleports that will allow you to climb up that tube to the next level. So if you go there, don't be surprised if your character goes someplace else.
I'm gonna go check out one of the angels.
Okay. Do you want to do the one right next to Moon, or you're gonna go across the room? Okay. So as you look at it, what you realize is that there is a dead angel wrapped in infernal iron, encased in the effluvia and that the wasps use to build their hive. Even though it is a dead angel, it is still glowing. It's almost as if the wasps have captured these angels and built them into their hive to help it float the way that it does above the hellscape of Avernus. What would Sir Digger like to do?
Alex, I was going to kind of feel the same thing for the angel. So if we take those out, will the hive fall? Is that what we know?
Roll an insight for me, or investigation, either or.
Insight, investigation.
Yeah. So it is in your estimation, if you were to cut out enough of these dead angels, the hive would probably sink to the ground.
Then how high up were you?
So the hive itself at the bottom level was about 45, 50 feet up off the ground. At the top of the hive, you're almost twice that.
Alex, I was gonna take a shot at the angel. There.
With what are you gonna take a shot at?
An Eldritch Blast.
Of course you can take Eldritch Blast. Alright, so your Eldritch Blast rips into the paper-like material of the walls, completely blasting the covering aside. If you wanted to, you could now reach through and try to pull that angel out.
Let's do that.
As you are doing that, the sound of buzzing gets louder and louder. Olin, you hear it. Severius, you hear it. Moon begins to hear it. And suddenly, boop, boop. Two giant hell wasps suddenly come buzzing down the passageway, one to the north, one to the south. Everybody, we're in combat. Go ahead and roll for initiative.
Oh, snap. Holy, I'm first. Oh, second.
You're first for now.
For a minute. That was...
Yeah, let everybody
I'm
else finish
third.
roll. So as we kind of get here, let's go ahead, begin that combat. So you see these giant hell wasps come flying down the tunnels at you guys. These gigantic, kind of warped versions of wasps that you have seen back in the Forgotten Realms, but these are absolutely gigantic. They're almost the size of horses. You know, it's like how Sir Lancelot was a giant version of a mastiff that Severius could ride around on. These are the giant wasp-sized versions of that as well. As they come flying out, they hone in on you guys. The first up here is going to be Moon, though. So Alatar, as our keeper of all things Moon for the night, what would you like Moon to do?
The Moon does he have a ranged attack?
He does.
Yeah.
He does. So he has the ability to use a short bow.
Okay. And how far off the ground, or where are these guys at? The Hell Wasp.
So I can help with that. So they are coming out just about ground level. They're hovering about 5 feet.
So then Moon can move up. If he could move, he would move to about there. Yep, and then use his rapier.
Which is going to be a nice brutal hit against,
right in the thorax.
against that Hell Wasp. Which means that you can... I always forget this because he's got the...
extra attack.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. He's got the...
Sneak attack.
yeah, it's... I'm trying to remember what he needs for that,
Or is it
though.
the cunning action?
Because he took a... Let me look at it here. It's always easier for me to find on.
You can deal an extra 1d6 damage to a creature you hit with an attack if you had advantage on the attack roll. Attacking must be used as a finesse or ranged weapon. You can deal an extra 4d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack.
So, yeah, for sneak attack, it's got to be... He either needs advantage, or he has to have somebody next to them to be able to use sneak attack. And then he had something different because of his swashbuckler. And I always forget what that is. Let me just real quick. In addition, you don't need it's rakish audacity. That's what it does. You don't need advantage on your attack roll if no. Alright, so with sneak attack, let me just check this here. Yep, so he gets to use sneak attack regardless because of that rakish audacity. That's what it is. He doesn't need someone next to him, and he doesn't need advantage to be able to do it. So he's going to go ahead and do that additional 11 damage. So Moon goes sliding forward and is absolutely tearing into the Hell Wasp in front of him as it comes down out of the tube here from somewhere above in the nest. That is going to be Moon's turn, I believe. Which is going to bring us to Olin.
Did the blessing of the forge get reapplied to Severius's armor?
Yep.
Okay.
So I've actually got it set to one of the conditions now. So as long as you see that little the white shield with 2 crossed swords,
Cool.
he's got it on him.
Excellent.
I actually set it up so that we can apply that, or because you can do it with a weapon to make a weapon +1 or armor +1. I've got it set up for both. So you let me know who you want it on, and otherwise I'll just keep applying it to Severius unless you see different.
Cool. Yeah, that's the default.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. I think I'm just gonna swing. Lovely.
Yeah, that unfortunately is going to be a miss on the
18
Hell
misses.
Yep,
18 misses?
and 18 was a miss.
God damn.
Unfortunately, that is going to be a miss. Any bonus action or additional movement?
Nah, they'll stay put.
All right, that's going to bring us to the Hell Wasp, which is going to target back on Olin. So the Hell Wasp is another one of our fun D&D 5th edition multi-attack. So it does 2 attacks every round. It's going to start off using its talons, which is going to be a miss, and then it is going to attempt to sting.
Is my aura reaching him? I always forget about that aura protection.
And I just got a pop-up for Warcaster, but I'm not concentrating on anything.
You can just cancel it. It's part of the automation. It pops it up every time for
Okay,
some reason.
gotcha.
Oof, that sting is going to be a hard hit. So the sting from the Hell Wasp is both you feel the piercing power of the giant stinger as it rips through your armor and into your side. In addition, you feel the venom release out, and part of your flesh lights on fire as it releases a fiery venom into your skin. And you are now poisoned for uno minuto.
Well, and does that take into account my resistances?
Let's see here.
Because Olin is resistant to fire and poison.
So it should have only done half of that for resistance. Let me return that. So it's removing. So it did 17. So it was. Let me just look at how it did it here. It was 8 piercing
And fire.
10 fire, which would be 20. So I'm trying to figure out why it's doing 22. Just trying to read through its spell thing quick and see how it's doing the attack damage. It is 1d8 and then 2d6. So I'm not sure how it's coming up with 22. It should just be a flat 20, I believe. And you only take half of the fire, so actually it should be just. I don't know why I got that extra 2 in there. That's pretty odd. I'm not seeing any bonuses on it. I'm just taking a quick look at the actual back end here. DC of 12. It's a flat 12 save, yeah, which we failed. Strength. Oh, is that why? No. The attack modifier is strength, but damage doesn't get modified that way. It's 1d8 piercing. I think maybe that's why it's doing it. So it should have been 13 damage. Correct. You take the 8, and then you take an additional 5. So it should have been minus 13 rather than 20. Too much shit open on my screen. Let me close all that. Alright, so we rolled a 24 to attack, did 8 piercing, which you should have taken, and then an additional 5. For 18 total possible damage, of which we took 13. We're good. So I subtracted the 13. Yep. 66.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. And I'll keep an eye on that. I'm not sure why it's doing the additional...
Yeah, just it didn't seem like it would have been utilizing his resistance with the previous numbers.
Yeah, I think I see what it's doing. It adds that attack adds the strength modifier to its damage. That's where that +4 is coming from. That's what I was confused about. So it should be the 8. Let me just check here. Let me look at D&D Beyond real quick because this is kind of confusing over here. But that's going to be his 2 attacks, so I'm going to move to the next just so Severius can kind of keep us moving
Okay.
while I figure what's going on with this guy's attack quick. It is... Yeah, that's the modifier. That's why. Make sure this one's correct. Yeah. Yep. That's all it was. Got it fixed. So we didn't include the modifier for that one, but we will. I will edit this and make sure it does it correctly. Stay. Cool. All right, I think I've got it all fixed here. We'll see how it goes, but we'll keep an eye on the damage. So Severius is up. You've got one last piece, though. Because you were poisoned and failed on that Constitution throw, even though you take only half of the damage, you are unfortunately paralyzed from the poison.
Neat.
While you were poisoned, you're paralyzed. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. If you make that DC 12, you fight off the effects of the poison. So as you see Olin moving forward, takes a swing at the Hellwasp and misses. The Hellwasp reaches out, clawing at him, his stinger flying forward between his talons, piercing through Olin's mighty armor. You can see a puff of smoke and flames from the wound, which Olin seems to shake off, but then slowly he kind of freezes in place. His heavens fall and his mighty shield poised at the ready, but seemingly frozen in place. What would Severius like?
Well, I was actually going to help Moon, but since he's paralyzed now, I think I'm going to actually move north and help Olin.
Okay.
Baiting here. I'm going to cast as my bonus action protection from good and evil.
Okay. So that's going to put concentration on you. And you get to, so it's one willing creature that you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Are you touching yourself or are you touching Olin?
I'm gonna touch myself.
Okay.
I didn't mean to come out like that.
Yeah.
When I think about Olin, I touch myself.
That's going to give all the attacks against you will have disadvantage. Mm-hmm.
Assuming he'll probably shift to me. And I will take a swing at this creature. See if my... come on, baby.
That is going to be a hit.
Sweet.
Very
And
nice.
I'm going to use what are these things exactly? Or do I have to figure that out?
So, which things? Or the things you're fighting?
Wasps. Are
So
they demons or
So
anything like that?
these are fiends.
Okay.
These are native beings. So just to back us up for a second, protection from evil and good is actually a full action, not a bonus action.
Oh shit. I thought it was a bonus action. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So I'm actually gonna, unless you, so you can either choose to have that on you, or you can choose to do the attack, but we can't do both.
I'm gonna do the attack.
All right, so I will go ahead and remove that.
And I will actually tack on a divine smite also with that.
Okay.
Since
And
your damage is 2d8 for a first level spell.
Yep.
Plus 1d8 for each spell level higher first. To maximum 5. Damage increased by 1d8 if the target is an undead or a fiend.
Yep.
So actually 6.
So are you
Did you-
what? Yeah. What? It's a fiend. So what level spell do you want to cast it at?
I want to do a level 2.
Okay. So let me go that just to set your spell level on 2. And then the Divine Smite is... that's going to be 3d8. It's 2d8 for the second level and an additional 1d8 because it is a fiend. Actually, let me go ahead and apply that 8. Because I had removed it. So if you want to roll 3d8, we'll go ahead and subtract that as well. So that's going to be another 7 damage. So that's going to be your one attack action. Divine Smite is a special that you can basically use whenever you hit something with a melee weapon. You still have one more attack because you get two swings of your mighty warhammer or mighty mace.
Let's do it again. Oh, I thought it was gonna...
Portion of that second one is going to be a miss. And technically, if you have something you want to do as a bonus action, you can. Because you took your action and a special and movement, but you can still use a bonus action.
I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay. That's going to be a +2. Let me go here. I just want to make sure I put the effect onto you. And And that would be ending your turn. That's going to bring us to Audrey. Go ahead and give. Who would Audrey like to attack? Unfortunately, that acid arrow is gonna miss as you call forth your arcane powers, singing a little song under your breath as a bard. That acid arrow goes flying, but unfortunately misses its mark in the tight confines here and poorly lit space of the wasp nest. Any movement or bonus action, I would think. I don't know if you're on mute, Nikki, but I can't hear you. Okay. Sir Digger.
Alright, we're going to target the boss near us. Eldritch Blast. Alright.
That is unfortunately going to be 2 misses. This one is going to target Moon. Take a swipe. And miss. Take a sting. So Moon's going to use his uncanny dodge, which is going to have that damage, and he made his DC, so he did not get paralyzed. So that was 15 damage and subtract 7. We're good there. So Moon gets hit, but using his roguelike abilities is able to dodge some of that damage. That is going to take us back to Moon, who is going to try to light this thing up. Again, with his, I'm guessing, Rose Rapier.
Indeed.
Which will hit. He is then going to go ahead and use his sneak attack. He is just tearing into this thing, and because of it, he is... We're back at the top of the order, so... Let me ask you this, Dig. Would you rather have him use his cunning action, which allows him to use a bonus action to disengage, in other words, he could back away from this thing? Or he could do an offhand strike with his dagger.
And he's still full health? Just below?
Yeah, he's at 38 of 45.
I would say do offhand strike.
Okay. Moon is on fire tonight.
Swashbuckle the shit out of that.
He is tearing through this hell wasp and has it near death. That's going to bring us back to Olin. You can go ahead and make that DC 12 Constitution saving throw. See if we can get rid of your poison.
Okay.
And that is going to be successful. Unfortunately, that is the entire turn, but you are able to come back to yourself, which means that through the remaining, if you want to take a reaction, that kind of thing, if anything pops up, or attack opportunity, if this thing moves, you'll be able to do so.
Okay.
to the Hell Wasp, who is going to refocus on Severius, since that's the one that was just hurting him. Okay. Let's see here.
Stings itself right in its mandibles.
It does. It does hit itself. So let's go ahead and... Good call. He is going to do 2 damage to himself on the backswing. And then he's going to try and do the second part of his multi-attack.
Of course.
Did it pop
I
up?
got a shield master evasion.
So it's not a dexterity saving throw, it's constitution, so you can cancel that. Shield masturbation on dexterity saving throws.
Are you saying shield masturbation?
Yep, shield masturbation. So unfortunately, okay, that hurt. That hurt a whole fucking lot. So not only does he critically hit you, but you also failed that saving throw. However, you do have damage resistance to fire, and I don't think it subtracted that. So on the fire side, it was 24 damage, and it should have been 12. So let me go ahead and go plus 12. Back onto your character. This is where doubling all of the damage and the way that we house rule our critical hits can really fucking hurt. Here's the other fun part. You're now unfortunately paralyzed. That is going to knock your concentration off, which should then also remove that blessing that we had. Not the blessing of the forge, but the shield of faith, unfortunately, is going to fade because you can't maintain your concentration on it. But the blessing of the forge from Olin does stay on, so you're back to a 21. Okay. So this wasp is very pissed off at the 2 armored wearers over here. So technically, we're back to your turn. You can roll that DC 12 Constitution saving throw again. If you make it, you will be unparalyzed. Constitution save.
Con save.
Yep, con save. That's going to be good. So that'll remove the paralyzed. So you took a serious stinging wound from the Hell Wasp. Its stinger slashing forward and piercing right through your shoulder. You feel the fire of the venom as it spreads into you, but your tiefling blood fights part of it off. As it pulls back from you, you very quickly recover from being paralyzed, feeling the control of your limbs return to you as you see Olin next to you doing the same, kind of stretching his fingers, preparing for the next opportunity to strike out at this wasp. That's going to bring us to Audrey. So you see Olin and Severius having a hell of a time with this one right next to you. Meanwhile, Moon is single-handedly beating the shit out of the one in the south. Unfortunately, that acid arrow is going to miss. We are seeing some low rolls, unfortunately. Looks like Severius's bad luck has passed over to Audrey in this round, and she's rolling low on the D20s now. Any bonus action or movement?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Brings us back to Alatar, who I'm pretty sure is going to wind up maybe 2 more Eldritch Blasts. He can't keep missing, can he, folks?
Maybe. No, he can't.
Or can he?
I think you guys talked about that way too much.
Oh, mother. So it looks like it's spread. We've got a pandemic of bad 20s in the household. Unfortunately, as Moon is dancing around,
Broken. It's broken.
Alatar has missed. That's going to bring us back to our Hell Wasp, who is going to stay focused in here on the rogue that is hurting it so badly. It is going to try and take a swing with its sword talons, which will be a miss. It is then going to try to sting out at the rogue. That is going to be a hit, but he is going to use his reaction to uncanny dodge and take half of that damage. Unfortunately, this time Moon does fail his Constitution saving throw, so he is going to take... Only should have been half of the damage, but it took the full 13. So let me go ahead and undo that, because he did use his uncanny as a reaction. So it's going to be a -6. God dang it. He was at 38. -6. There we go. But unfortunately, you watch as he freezes in place, the stinging, fiery venom from the Hell Wasp freezing him in place. As he does that, the Wasp is going to leave him paralyzed and cross the distance toward Alatar. That brings us back to Moon, who is going to try and roll and see if he can't make that Constitution saving throw. Unfortunately, he fails and remains paralyzed. Brings us to Olin.
Okay.
So the one in front of you has been badly injured. The one approaching Alatar is near death. We've got Moon paralyzed, but everybody else is up and running.
Okay. Just trying to see if I have anything that can deal with the paralyzation on somebody else. It doesn't appear that I do. So, you know what that means.
Holy Taco.
Smashy, smashy. Wow.
That unfortunately is going to be a miss, my friend. Any bonus action or movement?
Nah, stay put.
Seeing that you have struck out at it, the Hell Wasp is going to swing back at our favorite cleric. That will be a miss, and with another sting, also a miss. It buzzes in anger as its pincers and stinger slash out at you, skittering off of your armor as you're able to deflect its blows. That brings us back to Severius.
All right. I think I'm going to. Damn it. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark. That's my bonus. I think the 5 means anything, but
It for some reason it rolls the damage. I just put it back on, but you're good.
okay. And I'm going to take a swing. Come on, baby. God damn it.
Unfortunately, that first swing is going to be a miss as it continues to kind of hover around the opening in the tube, making it difficult for you to bring your mighty skull flail to bear.
take another swing.
Okay, so the bad D20s are everywhere this evening, except on Moon. Those are unfortunately both misses. Any additional? The Hunter's Mark was your bonus action. You could move if you wanted to.
I'll stay.
No attack of opportunities. That takes us back to Audrey.
I'm gonna try something sharp and flying. Christ, man.
The good news is that because you're a halfling, you automatically re-rolled that one. Unfortunately, that's still not going to be high enough to hit. Our poor halfling bard is having some difficulties firing off her crossbow bolts and her acid arrows. The hovering, fast-moving targets, even though large, make it difficult in these darkened confines to hit one of the hell wasps. Any movement?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
So the difficulty now, Dig, is that with it being right on top of you, your ranged spells have to be rolled with disadvantage, sir.
Actually, if we're casting a maybe poison spray,
That's
range is 10 feet.
I believe it's a cone, isn't it? Doo-doo-doo.
Bend your hand towards the creature. You can see within range, and a puff of noxious gas from your palm. The creature has to make a Constitution saving throw.
I didn't think that came from your palm.
Sometimes from my ass, sometimes from my palm.
It's up to 10 feet, so you can certainly hit it, and it would not have to roll with disadvantage. So you could certainly do the poison spray if you want. I just want to check something real quick.
Point your butt to the sky.
Unfortunately, that is going to be... The Hellwasp fails. There we go. And takes the full damage. It is near death. The 6 that it rolls, it took the full 12. We're good. So it feels the poison of your poison spray spreading throughout its body. You actually see the flames in its torso, its abdomen begin to kind of dim a little bit. It is very close to death, but not quite down, not quite yet.
It's a dark thorax.
You are darkening its thorax, sir. Any bonus actions?
No.
That's gonna bring us here. He doesn't like the poison, so he's gonna take a swipe at you. Oh, son of a monkey. That may not go well for him. Let's see what happens here. So as he strikes out with his talons, Alatar is able to dodge. The wasp's talons sink into the wall and partially into the angel, the corpse of the angel that you had exposed. It is now stuck there. It will have to succeed on a DC 14 strength check on its next turn to try to remove its hands. And because it got stuck, I am going to... I just want to make sure I've got a mark on him so I know. I will remember. He's got to do the DC 14 next time. Okay.
He's got his hands up his ass. He's got to wait.
But as he's doing that, he is going to lance out with that stinger. So you are going to take that damage, good sir, but you're not going to have to be paralyzed because you made the Constitution saving throw. So he is going to hit you for a healthy amount of damage. just check here, but you've got fire resistance. Excellent. So you take less than that full 19. Looks like you took 7 of the 19. Yep. There we go.
Love the system.
Having swung at you twice but getting stuck, it is going to move on. Brings us back to Moon, who is going to again try to make that Constitution saving throw. Which he does not do. Which brings us back to Olin.
Okay. Guess nobody is near death or anything like that. So, all right, I'll just try to smash it again.
There you go. Swinging your holy taco, Olin is able to connect, smashing his mighty warhammer into the legs of the hovering hell wasp as it was trying to attack and swing out at Severius. Any bonus action or additional movement there, my friend?
I think that's it.
It is going to swing back at you since you just hit it. That is going to be a miss against your strong armor. And a miss again with the stinger. It is as if you were able to gauge its swings now. It has taken a few direct swipes at Olin, but you were dodging deftly or deflecting off of your armor each of its many attempts. Brings us back to Severius. You see this thing lashing out at Olin. What would Severius like to do?
I'm going to take a big old swing at it. Hopefully I hit. There we go.
That is going to be a hit.
Yeah.
So you see your skull flail lash out, slamming into the hell wasp as it is distracted from Olin's mighty blow. You're able to hit with your skull flail, so you've also got Hunter's Mark on there still. So you get to deal an additional 1d6 if you want to go ahead and just roll that. I'll subtract. 1d6. There's another 2.
And then I'll do a Divine Smite on top of that.
Okay. What level?
Let's do a level 1.
Okay. And that's going to be 2d8. 1d8 for the spell, and then an additional 1d8 because it's... Very nice. 2d8, doing another 11 damage. So as you see Severius bashing away at this thing, it is near death. It's blood splattering all over the papery walls behind it. You have one more attack, sir.
Right. One more swing.
That is unfortunately going to be a miss. Any movement or a bonus action?
You know, I'll try, I think my shield. Is that shield trick I can do? That's a bonus action?
The shove?
Yeah,
That's a
I'll
bonus
try
action.
that.
Yep. Are you going to try and shove him, or are you going to try and knock him down?
Knock him prone. Try and knock him prone. And how do I roll that?
I think it's athletics versus strength.
So should I roll an athletics roll?
Yep.
Or?
Yep. And then I roll strength and versus. I do it as a saving. Oh, actually, it doesn't make a difference. It's +4 either way. That's going to be a shove. So you're going to be able to knock him down to the ground. Which I think is prone. There you go. And let me put him down to 0. So he's down to the ground.
That should make him easier to hit now, too.
Yep, absolutely. You'll have advantage on swings now. That's going to bring us to Audrey. So, Audrey, if you step up, you see this thing fall to the ground in front of you. If you step up and take a swing at it with your rapier, you will have advantage on that swing. Whereas if you try to shoot it with your crossbow, you'd actually have disadvantage.
Sweet.
So seeing the hell wasp fall to the ground prone, buzzing, screaming out in pain, its wings folding up beneath it, you see Audrey come darting forward, slinging her crossbow back across her back, pulling out her rapier deftly, and with a single lunge, piercing straight through the center section where the thorax and the upper body of the wasp connect, severing it and ending its life. Hellfire flames slowly bleeding out of it as it lands and kind of falls to the bottom of the tube that leads toward the higher levels of the wasp nest. Any bonus action or additional movement from Audrey?
Nope, I'm good.
Sir Alatar.
There, we got one left. One left.
Bertrand Bell.
Should try again.
That's actually got to be rolled with disadvantage, Sarah.
Control. Oh, it's gone. Good.
I'm sorry, I was just undoing it to put that. You can go ahead and re-roll it.
Oh, control, right?
Alt. Control is disadvantage.
You
Alt.
said
Yeah, excuse me, yeah, control for disadvantage. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was doing that backwards. You got it, control.
so. Is disadvantage because he is flying, or?
No, so because he's right next to you, so a ranged spell
that's
attack.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yep, is disadvantage when they're up close. You can do a poison spray again, or if you
I'll do
have,
poison spray again.
if you want to pull your sword out and just take a swat at it.
Let's spray.
Unfortunately, he succeeds and takes no damage.
Fuck him.
Let's see how well Alatar can dance. The poison spray missing the wasp as it quickly dodges up and back down, taking a swipe at our half-elf sorcerer. Unfortunately, it's going to be a hit, and then he is going to reach out with his stinger. Which will also hit, but we will see that with that succeed on your Constitution saving throw. It does not knock you paralyzed. Let me just check sure here. This was 13. Make sure what it subtracted. Yep. So only did half of the fire damage. You're good. Doo-doo-doo. That is going to bring us back to Moon. Can Moon wake up?
Yes, he can.
He sure as shit can. So Moon comes back to himself. He'll be able to attack on his next round if this thing is still alive. That brings us back to Olin. So across the room, you see this thing is certainly, it's swarming all over Alatar, kind of having him backed up to the edge of the tube. If he knocks him back another step, Alatar would be falling out onto the infernal chains. You see Moon slowly kind of beginning to stretch his arms and his legs, being able to try and take a step toward this hell wasp, fighting off the paralytic poison. What would Olin like to do?
Well,
And this, as you're looking at it, you can see that it is near death. It is dripping with poison, and it has rent wounds in it from the blade work before it left Moon behind. Can I make a suggestion?
Nope.
Because if you had gone here on a large creature,
yes.
that's advantage.
Right. Got it. Okay. Too late.
I am a magnanimous dungeon master, however. If you want to do that and try to re-roll it, I would allow you to do so.
Well,
sir.
what I can do now. Well, okay.
I'll let you roll advantage.
Well, okay.
I mean, you know, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right?
Exactly. I also know that if we don't get this combat done in the next couple of minutes, either Digger or Nikki will fall asleep on us.
It's already happened twice, so we're on our second round.
That is going to be a hit. Oh, excuse me. No, on an 18? Yeah, that's a.
Both miss.
Those are unfortunately both misses on an AC of 19.
Okie dokie. I'm done.
Severius. We have a hell wasp still up, dancing with your friends here to the south. What would Severius like to do?
I'll transfer the hunter's mark over to it.
Excellent.
And is this advantage?
Technically no. If you came in here, so you've got, so it's anywhere where you're like directly across. So like here is, or where Olin is. So if you wanted to, I don't know if you've got enough movement to go, where were you, here? 20. Yeah, you could do 25 feet and be there and have advantage because you'd be across from Alatar.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
And
Alt for advantage.
okay. Take my first swing. Come on, baby. You must target. Oh, okay.
Go. That 14 is going to be a hit. And with a mighty blow, as Severius comes dancing around, he is able to land one final blow with his skull flail. The combination of the silvered head and the poisonous necrotic magical damage that it inflicts. Enough to end that hell wasp's life. Behind you, Moon slowly staggers forward. The paralytic poison finally releasing him. That is the end of combat, ladies and gentlemen. You have taken out 2 of the hell wasps here in the room. The ones that could hear you and came down the tubes. This will be a good place. Let's stop here, and we'll pick up again in 2 weeks as we continue our way through the nest looking for Lulu. Just want to make sure I've got everything kind of here. Your concentration can come off because you're not on Hunter's Mark.
I have a question about my aura. When does that ever come into play? Because it doesn't seem to.
Which
help.
Which aura? Let's see here.
The aura protection.
Features here. So I don't think it's gonna be.
I'm trying to figure out what it actually, how it benefits.
So it's on. I'm trying to look at and see what it does here. It looks like it is. So it is on you. It applies your charisma modifier, a +2 to you. The thing is, it doesn't automatically reach out to everybody around you within 10 feet. We have to remember that it's there. So that Yeah, it should add a. So
It adds a +4, but what does it add it to? To saving throws?
Yep. So anyone within
anytime anyone's hit?
within 10 feet of you, if they make a saving throw, they gain a bonus to the saving throw equal to your charisma modifier. Yep. Since your modifier is a 4. So just as a reminder, yeah, when anyone, so like for example, when Olin was rolling on his paralytic, he could have added 4 to that roll to get rid of it. When you roll, you can get rid of it that way as well. Yep. We'll just have to remember that you've got that on. I'll do a little bit of research and see if there's a way to have it apply out, but I think with a lot of the active effects, it just applies to a single target. It doesn't transfer based on distance.
Yeah.
We'll just have to remember that it's there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
That is our night. We'll pick up here again in 2 weeks and continue kind of moving our way through those two guys, moving our way through the wasp nest, trying to find Lulu. Hopefully we will have Andrew back with us. Let him know that actually, Dig, if you want to play a joke, reach out to him, tell him that Moon.
Hey, I'm really sorry. I said some kind words. Moon, we put him in a bunch of litter, and he's gone.
Jamie made us stop because we failed 2 death throws, and we wanted to let you make the last one.
I will definitely send him that on my note.
Cool. All right.
We carried you in a litter and then buried you with litter.
Beside 2 small turds.
So Severius got super tired of your altruistic bullshit and decided to kill you, and he now has a lucky tabaxi foot that he wears around his neck. And it's weird because Jamie's giving him a +5 on all dexterity rolls now because he's wearing your fucking your dead paw.
And a +27 to stealth.
He made himself a helmet that has your head on top of his head.
As a cape.
It's like he has 2 heads.
Audrey's dancing around with your furry fucking bloody ears attached to a head.
This is good luck. This is good luck.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry, what? What?
All right, everybody. Fun night. We'll pick up again in 2 weeks, and until then.
Good night, y'all.
Right. Good night,
See ya.
everybody.
All right, have a good night.